The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It is the day after a painful Jet loss. What did we learn about AG's squad? We'll talk about the latest. Robby Sabo will join us. It's the Jake Asman Show. No moral victories. Let's hit it and get it started.
I'm not into moral victories. You will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown every step of the journey? The Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jets fans, and a huge thank you to everyone who tuned in to our first post-game show of the regular season yesterday. We have almost 20,000 views on that show, so thank you to the Asmaniacs for continuing to support this channel, support this community, despite the fact this football team continues to cause great pain to all of us. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We hit over 42,000 subscribers yesterday. Our goal's 50 by the end of the season. If the Jets win games, that will certainly help. But I want to thank the audience once again for your incredible support each and every day year-round. We talk about the Jets on this channel. Let's say hello to a guy who joins us year-round. He is the co-founder of the great website JetX, jetsxfactor.com. He was in the building yesterday watching Aaron Rodgers versus Justin Fields. We say hello to Robby Sabo. Robby, how we feeling?
Jake, do you need to pick me up? Is that what you need today?
I do.
I got to ask Jets fans, what do they need from, I know it's a silly question because it's not going to matter, but what do Jets fans need from me today? That's the first thing. Comments, let it fly.
I think they need honesty, Robby. I mean,
honesty.
I don't want to tease anything or spoil anything, I guess is the phrase, but you're way more optimistic than I guess I was after this yesterday, especially going into the Bills game now on Sunday. So just be you, because I think that's what this community expects.
Look, it's brutal. It's a brutal loss, and I expect all the shut ups and fuck yous on Twitter when I'm positive. It makes me laugh. I love it, and I expect nothing of anything different, because anything said yesterday after the game, I don't care if it's at 11 p.m., it's still too fresh. It's still too early. You know, fans have to get over the process. They got to grieve. I completely get it. And yesterday's game is akin to, save for Vinny's injury, it's akin to losing in week 1 in 99. It's one of those brutal landmark games. And let's be honest about it. I know a lot of Jets fans don't want to talk about it, but it's because of Rodgers' presence. And not enough credence has been given and hat tip in his direction in terms of how he controlled the game at the line of scrimmage. I know Brandon Stevens was bad and there's a lot to clean up in the secondary, but the Jets dominated the trenches, folks. They absolutely obliterated Pittsburgh in the trenches. So for them to lose this game, even more pain. I get it, Jake. But I think Rodgers at the line of scrimmage is the only thing that kept Pittsburgh alive. He knew exactly where to go with the ball, the matchups. It's one thing to want to pick on a corner. It's another to actually execute it and carry out play fakes and be so orderly. And that ball handling and that savviness and again, even the Brandon Stevens non-DPI, defensive pass interference on the last play before the Boswell field goal, it's only a possibility of an interference if the ball's placed in the perfect spot, which it was. So, yes, there's a lot to clean up with the pass coverage. Stevens communicating. I think the pass rush was fine. I think the run D was fine. Still got to prove it to me on the run D. We'll see. But I like what I saw. Engstrand and the O-line, A+. It's forget wins and losses. The best result from seeing yesterday was the O-line moving guys all game. and even doing it against heavy boxes in the second half. Pittsburgh was doing crazy things to stop the run. Fields started taking advantage. Fields, unbelievable job. I'd probably give him an A-. Still, unbelievable job. It is such a positive thing. The offensive coaching, they have the cheat code offense with Fields. They have that in the bag. The loss sucks. I get it. But I think you tip your cap and chalk it up to a veteran quarterback saving Pittsburgh's ass.
It's just tough to stomach because, like, you see stats like this, and I just get angry again. Like, the Jets scored over 30 points, held the ball for over 34 minutes, and prior to that game yesterday, they were 53-1 in those situations. The one loss was that opening day game in 98, the Garrison Hurst game against the Niners. Now, I want to spin this positively because I'm trying here, folks. The 98 Jets were arguably the best team, not named the 1969 Jets or 1968 Jets in franchise history. So we can only hope that this team has a 98-like year, is similar to what happened after the Garrison Hurst game. But it's just tough, Robbie, because they did so many good things, and I think that's what I struggle with. I want to be positive. I want to be excited about Fields, but it's, man, you blew a huge opportunity to win a game. You got Buffalo now coming to your building. Why wouldn't I look at this team and feel like they're going to start 0-2? They're already on FanDuel a 7-point underdog going into this game at home. It's just, you know what I mean? So, like, I deal with the wanting to be positive about a lot of the good things we saw. And also, like, I'm just tired of doing we lost, but let's be excited about this when, like, over the last 15 years, it's led to nothing when we've been excited after losses. So, like, I'm tired of trying to hope it's going to be different. I actually want to see wins.
Yeah, there's nothing to say in response to that. Nothing. Glenn did the right thing after the game. He said there's no moral victories, and he's right. And it was the right message. The positives with Buffalo, and I feel very confident they're going to win this game. Baltimore ran all over Buffalo. Buffalo has a hard time dealing with the quote-unquote cheat code offense, and we saw it with Fields. We were talking about it all summer. This offense is going to be completely different, foreign to anything Jets fans have seen, and it was that. Continuing to keep Highsmith and Watt high and outside takes guys out of the mix. Again, the O-line, unbelievable. Fashanu might be an all-pro. Like, if he plays this way all season, he might be an all-pro. That's
Memba was great too yesterday.
Memba was great too. Yes. And Fashanu had that one misstep. He overextended. I don't know. I'm sure Watt said something on the broadcast. Haven't seen the broadcast yet, but he overextended a little bit to the left. I think Highsmith got him inside. And but the O-line was great. Engstrand was great. And even Fields. See, what really impressed me about Fields' passing was that go-ahead drive when he scored the touchdown on 4th down, the naked in goal line. He hit about 2 or 3 beauties. I think a couple were on the run. Nice pocket feel. He took advantage of Pittsburgh adjusting, and Pittsburgh's defense adjusted and realized they had to play as many guys in the interior as possible. The free safety was coming up, so they had receivers on islands all day. And he took advantage. That one to the left against the grain to Josh Reynolds, one to Mason Taylor. I think it was a dig. I don't know where he started from, but it was across east-west. So that was really impressive. The thing that's really even more positive about this rushing attack is Fields uncharacteristically made the wrong option read 3 or 4 times, even including on the drive that could have put them away. He got dumped for a loss after he pulled it from Breece. If he just hands it, Breece might be gone, not gone, but he has the first down for sure, and they might put the nail in the coffin. So Fields doesn't make those mistakes usually, and I don't expect him to next week. So considering,
do you think it's sustainable though? Because that's really the big thing, right? Like, I still have some doubts on are the Jets gonna are they scoring 32 points again this season? Like, that's what I'm like struggling to basically handle here, because it's like you scored 32 points, you didn't win. How often are the Jets going to score 32 points again?
Often, not often, but it's going to happen. I don't know.
Fields was great. Like,
here's the
was
thing
awesome.
about this.
Way better than anyone could have imagined, and to still lose that game is why a lot of Jet fans like myself are demoralized today.
Here's how I'll put it, and fans are going to kill me right now. I told you, I give Fields an A- for what they ask him to do. I probably give him a D for pure pocket passing, but that grade doesn't matter, and that's the point. Their offense is a cheat code. It's not like Pittsburgh. Yes, there's some mystery, but it's not like Pittsburgh goes into this game not having any idea of what the Jets are going to do. It's Buffalo. It's, well, Buffalo, not so much anymore. It's Baltimore. It's Philly. It's the old college stuff, threaten the edge to widen everyone out to run between the tackles. And you have to stay home on the outside for Fields. So they had an idea. And yes, with new coaches, you could surprise people and put it on tape. And then once it's on tape, you know, the league adjusts. But with this offense, this type of offense, the cheat code offense, you know what's coming. It's just impossible to stop it.
Now,
So,
Robbie, I'm going to stop you for a second. You
Yeah.
gave Fields overall an A-, but as a passer, you gave him a D. That people are freaking out on that comment there.
they could freak out. Go for it.
But
Hey, they can freak out all they want.
It's only a D. I mean, I saw multiple throws where he threaded the
No,
needle
no,
through
no.
tight windows.
If you're gonna grade him based on a pure pocket passer, it's a D. But it's more so incomplete because they're not asking him to be that guy. In other words, going through progressions like the 2-point conversion, he locked on Garrett right away, threw it to the corner when Mason Taylor was running wide open, dig on a shallow cross underneath. That's all I'm like. Certain things he misses in the progressions, and that's okay.
I think if you
That
said B
grade-
as a pocket quarterback, people would be like, okay, that makes sense. But
I don't care what they say.
I know, I'm just saying, you're a tough grader, man, because you gave him overall an A-, but
And that's the real grade. The D is the incomplete. And the point is, this is not a normal offense. Even if it's on tape, you can't stop it because it's such a cheat code. That is the point. So even if you grade it on a pure pocket passer, take his legs out of the equation completely on the plays where he has to go through his progressions, the speed out to Garrett, well behind, late. Guys, if you want to go through the film, we can go through the film. There's many instances in terms of pure pocket passer where he didn't grade out well, and still their offense was great. This is the point. His real grade is A- because he did exactly and more so, what they asked him to do. So if you get hung up on a D, you're the same people getting hung up on Aaron Rodgers. Get it out of your head. The real point is the O-line moved guys, and he did exactly what they want him to do. And that is the vision, and that's being ahead of the curve in the NFL that you have to hold on to with Glenn and this coaching staff. And Buffalo had a hard time with Henry and Lamar. I don't see any reason why they're not going to run the ball a lot next week.
Well, let's see if they can stop Josh Allen, because I have
That's
some
the
serious
that's
questions.
The issue. That's
and
the
look,
issue.
you look at this game, whatever your evaluation grade is of Fields, he overall put up
A-.
32 points.
That's the real grade.
Right.
Real grade is A-.
Engstrand was outstanding. The problem is Brandon Stevens was absolutely horrendous yesterday, and it's so disappointing because at the time he signed with the Jets, we all had some serious doubts. Then you factor in he has this really good training camp, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they're going to be able to coach him up. And then what he did yesterday was exactly what he has been in his career. And for those saying, it's only one game, this is who he's been. He's in play to make plays, but then doesn't make plays. And yesterday, he's slipping when an interception hits him directly in the hands that could have completely won the game. That can't happen. This is from Zach Rosenblatt here. Here are the coverage stats from yesterday. 7 targets on Stevens, 5 receptions, 60 yards allowed, 2 touchdowns. This does not include the the passing interference call that went against him. That doesn't count. And let's be real, one of these incompletions, he probably got away with PI at the end of the game.
Oh, it was the last play. Yeah, right before the field goal.
So let's call for what it is. Like, the numbers are brutal, and it doesn't factor in those plays as well. So look, I'm tired of being patient as a Jet fan. If I'm Aaron Glenn and I'm trying to fix this defense, and I use a 3rd-round pick on a top 75 prospect, top 50 prospect on some people's draft boards in AZ Thomas, who is a prototypical press man corner for this defense, I'm playing him. I don't care if they paid Brandon Stevens. Put him at safety if that's what you got to do. And then that brings me to Tony Adams. Yesterday, horrendous. 3 targets, 3 receptions, 56 yards, taking terrible routes.
Pittsburgh didn't have a run game, and they still couldn't stop the pass. This is what I'll say. I think the line of demarcation for the Jets' pass coverage was when Mosley was no more. And I think in this league, with the rules, you can't be predictable and just say, mano-y-mano, we're going to stop you. It doesn't work that way. If the quarterback is accurate and knows where to go with the ball and gets his offense into man beaters against man and zone beaters against zone, you cannot stop it. I don't care if you have Ronnie Lott out there, Deion Sanders. Maybe Deion Sanders. Okay, sure. But you know what I mean. You get the point. They just ran with the regular check, the regular play, and there was no battle of wits at the line of scrimmage. And Rodgers just, again, it's one thing to want to pick on a cornerback. It's another thing to execute it and get it done. And he had to place it in the perfect, like that DPI where it should have been DPI on Stevens. If the ball's not in the perfect spot, it's not close, and we're not talking about it. But Rodgers did it. So listen, they got to clean up a lot. There's no question. Still more to come for me in terms of coverage. It'll get up on Twitter, I guarantee you. Especially that, I think it was the first touchdown. Was the Skoranek touchdown the first one or the second one?
I think it was the first one.
Okay, yeah. Michael Carter was on the backside and didn't follow, expecting zone coverage to help out and pop down, but no safety drove down. So I don't know what the hell happened. To your point, there were a lot of busts, but I think some of us are also missing the boat in terms of the battle of wits at the line of scrimmage.
That's fair.
Rodgers
Look,
beat him.
I'm a Rodgers guy, so I'm not trying to minimize what he did. But when the narrative now is, he torched the Jets, and you have missed tackles like what we just showed on tape with Tony Adams. You have the 2 dropped interceptions, which was absolutely brutal. Give me AZ Thomas and Malachi Moore. I'd rather play my rookies.
Give me Malachi Moore. Agreed.
Here's my tweet here. At this point, to me, the easiest fix Glenn can make for the defense is you bench Stevens and you bench Tony Adams. Give me AZ Thomas and Malachi Moore. I'd rather play the rookies. They cannot be worse than what we saw. And for those saying it's one game, Tony Adams, we know what he is. He's on a 1-year, $3 million deal. He's not the future. We hope Malachi Moore maybe is. I'd rather him get the reps. And AZ Thomas was a 3rd-round pick. So when these things happen yesterday.
But the Stevens one, the missed opportunities and the turnovers were point A. If those don't happen and you capitalize,
here's literally the stat where the Jets put up that amount of points and they have not lost that type of game since 1998. That's 30 years ago.
The Breece looking good early. The O-line was just plowing forward defensively, getting to Rodgers. It's mind numbing, and I really
they dominated total yards, dominated time of possession. They dominated. The not even just like the Jets rushing yards, but like the run game differential, like to have what's the difference in the Steelers rushing yards versus how the Jets ran the ball to not win because you couldn't make a couple plays on defense with the drop picks that we showed. And then let's get to Xavier Gibson. Why is Xavier Gibson on this team? Why?
You get the fuck out.
That's what Aaron Glenn should be doing today. You want to hold people accountable and send a message. Xavier Gibson should not be the kick returner. He should not be the punt returner. There needs to be accountability. If Glenn's going to be different than Saleh, if I see Xavier Gibson out there against Buffalo, I'm going to have a conniption. I'm already angry, and it's Monday morning, and the game hasn't been played for another 6 days. If Gibson is out there in the same role that he's been in, unacceptable.
Jake, you remember me this summer. I was the biggest Pritchett fanboy. I was screaming for him in July, like, who's this kid? This kid has to make the team. And once Gibson got injured for the second time, he missed so much time in camp. It shocked the hell out of me that Pritchett didn't make it and Gibson did. So I'm with you 100%. Give me Pritchett. Give me the youngster. Give me the kid who has NFL explosiveness. I keep saying it. He has NFL explosiveness. And Gibson does too. And it's a shame too, because Gibson had a couple of nice returns, at least one near the midfield where the turf monster knocked him down, but you got to transfer the ball to your left hand if you're going down the left side. Gainwell pops it out. That just cannot happen. It just can't happen.
Gibson has just had so many fumbles, man. Like I understand that they kept track of his punts this summer. It's like, okay, in game scenarios, we've seen
he didn't play. He didn't. I don't even buy that stuff because he didn't play enough. He missed too much time this summer for him to make the team. Like I honestly thought he missed enough time where he wasn't going to make it.
And by the way,
stunned that he made it.
Someone in the chat just said this. I mentioned this yesterday. He fumbled a second time, but he got very lucky. The McCrary ball, you can see why he's a special teams captain.
The turf monster, right? The turf monster play.
Right. He dropped the ball and he wasn't ever, I guess, technically touched. So
right.
That was a live ball, and McCrary ball noticed it and fell on it, thankfully. Like that could have been a huge play in the game as well. Like he had 2 fumbles yesterday. And the second one, right, the play on the kickoff, he's holding, Bart Scott was all over this on the post-game show. He's holding the ball in his wrong arm. He's not protecting. The ball is exposed. He's not like, that's football 101. Protect the football with the arm that's away from the nearest defender.
Yeah, it's I'm with you 100%. I want to see Malachi Moore 100%. I want to see Sherwood do more at the line. Again, I got to watch the film with the coverage. It's coming today, I promise. But I need more brain power at the line for pass coverage. In this league, you have to match. You have to do certain things at the line. Because if the offense is in the perfect concept against your coverage and the quarterback's accurate, you're gonna have a hell of a time. Even if you do have the greatest corners, you're gonna have a hell of a time. So got to see that at the line checks from the mic. Malachi Moore, Pritchett, AZ Thomas is the one. I don't know if he's ready, but listen. Play guys to see. You can't stay with the status quo. I'm with you 100%.
Now, if you want some positive stuff, we'll get into a little more of that. But first, I want to let everyone know that the Asmaniac Raffle is tomorrow on our first show when Joe Beningo joins us for the first of every weekly appearance. They'll typically be in this time slot, but Joe was unavailable, so we swapped Joe with Robby. Joe Namath signed jersey. We give that away tomorrow. Weeb Eubank signed helmet. We give that away tomorrow. Signed Sauce Gardner jersey. We give that away tomorrow. And finally, a signed Kim Mawai jersey. We give that away tomorrow. But how about this, Robby?
You don't see Mawai every day. I'll tell you that.
You don't.
No.
But you want to see something pretty cool?
What do you got?
Justin Fields jersey giveaway. End of the show. You pick the color. Green, white, or black. Let's manifest another great game. Robby, you think a lot of what the Jets did on offense is sustainable, so I want to get more into that. But first,
100%.
We talked about bad coverage. How about a shout-out to the best cover corner in the league when he's on? And was he on? Sauce Gardner yesterday, 36 coverage snaps, 4 targets, 1 reception. The one that was the reception was the freaky play where it touched 4 people and somehow landed in Metcalf's lap. He allowed only 11 yards, had 2 pass breakups, 39.6 quarterback rating allowed when Rodgers went after him, 90.5 coverage grade. He's back to being Sauce Gardner.
He's a stud. He's a stud. And anyone who said otherwise, I get the frustration, but he's a stud. He's just freaky. No human should be that quick in short spaces with his length, and he is. And he's the perfect prototype for this league, in a league where it's so impossible to stop the pass. And even better for him, it's impossible to stop the short pass. Today's NFL is all about short passing. The last 3 years have the lowest yards per completion in NFL history, tied. Not counting this year, 2024, 2023, 2022. All lowest yards per completion NFL history, tied. What does that tell you? It's RPOs. Yes, it's a passing league. They rack up the passing yards, but it's based on QB legs. It's based on short design stuff. Sauce, lanky, tall. AZ Thomas, he doesn't have the speed, that short burst. Maybe it shows up in game, but if you can get to the quarterback and pressure and minimize time, maybe AZ Thomas is that perfect counterpart. We'll see.
Now, some other things I want to highlight on the defense positively before we get back to the offense. And once again, gift away to enter our Justin Fields jersey raffle at the end of the show. Black Gypsy, thank you. You were the first person to be entered in the raffle coming up at the end of today's stream. The play of Jermaine Johnson, I could not believe how good he looked for his first game off the Achilles. The snap counts came out this morning. I'll pull it up here. It's going to be very small on most of you guys' screens. But you could see Jermaine Johnson. If you zoom in, if you're on your phone, good luck. But I'm on my desktop here so I can read it. Jermaine Johnson played 50 snaps on defense yesterday, which percentage-wise was 89%. He also played 6 snaps on special teams. I was not expecting Jermaine to play that many snaps. I thought he'd play maybe 25, 30 snaps. They'd hold off on, pass rushing scenarios for him, but he was out there. He looked like a full-time player, which is outstanding. That probably has a lot to do with why we've all been screaming about, no, Clemens, what? No, go get an edge. And this probably has a lot to do with why they felt comfortable not getting an edge, because they knew Jermaine was a lot closer to what he was, if not 100% to what he was, than we did.
I was dead wrong, because my expectations for JJ were take it easy. Let's not expect too much coming off Achilles. Dude was unbelievable. And pass rushing, he did some good things, but against the run, there was one play to the right with Warren that he played the edge perfectly. He strung it out. There was space on the inside for Warren to cut, but he played it in a way where he squeezed it down about a yard downfield, maybe a yard and a half, and he made it so difficult for Warren to decide, do I cut it up? Do I bounce it out and take more time? Kept stringing it out, was a beast on the play. It's not going to show up in the box score, but it's perfect team run D where he kept stringing it out. Warren had to bounce it out, take some time, and Michael Carter or Stevens, one of the DBs, cleaned it up. That play right there, I just threw my hands up and said, my God, this guy's playing unbelievable. So him, Breece, Angstran, the O-line, Fields, he's right in that class.
Yeah, McDonald, by the way. How about the
McDonald,
sack he
too.
had on the power move, right? That's coaching right there.
Yeah,
Will
dude.
McDonald doing things we've never seen him do on the
Yep.
previous stat. I mean, that's why I'm so frustrated, man, because like individually, you go through the defense, a lot of guys played really well. So for them to allow that many points because of coverage busts, not coming up with key interceptions, the Quincy personal foul penalty was a big blow. It's just,
Yeah, that was tough.
I cannot believe they lost that game. They did
Also-
so many good things to still lose. It's just, it never ends with this team.
Yep. Also, that great drive where Fields really tore it up through the air because Pittsburgh was coming up and playing the run heavy.
Yeah.
2 timeouts. They wasted 2 timeouts going in, and then I think on the 2-point conversion, correct? That
Which
was a killer.
I hated the play call on the 2-point conversion, really both of them. But the second one, after Fields is cooking the way he is, you have to have, to me, some sort of play where the ball is in his hands to make a decision, not just hone in on Garrett Wilson. And that was it.
Agreed. And what I think bit extra in there is the play before on the touchdown. They used that bullet. So they went, and by the way, I was praising coaching and the sell job and the sell job. All 10 members of the offense, except for Fields, thought it was a run, thought it was a straight run. And Fields just kept it himself. That's why the sell job looked so good, because it was a design run and Fields just pulled it and ran to the corner.
Dude, we have not seen something like that since Sanchez against the Steelers in 2010 in the regular season when they ran that naked boot in that win at Heinz Field.
Yeah, and I was very worried. I'm like, man, do you go that well on the edge? Watt, and unlike the early part of the game, and this is natural tendency against this type of offense, Watt and Highsmith were really responsible on the edge. You saw Watt hammer him, and that's why when Watt hammered Fields, that's why, Randall Cunningham didn't run RPOs and read options against Lawrence Taylor. He would have been in the hospital with the way that was played back then. Today, you can get away with it. And you got to love Fields in terms of his gamer mentality. He's as tough as they come. When you're evaluating Fields, you have to be fair. He's as tough as they come. His character is great. So you could see why Glenn likes him in that regard. I'm with you. I'd like to see Fields have legs on that 2-pointer, but to be fair, Mason Taylor was wide open underneath shallow cross.
I'm gonna have to watch it back. I haven't.
All he
I'm
had
gonna
to do was toss
it.
If he made the right read, all he had to do was toss it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't perfect, but obviously way more. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to be critical of a Jets OC or a Jet quarterback this season.
Jets fans have to understand, and listen, fans are never responsible for the stuff on the field, but someone could say Fields had a great game and still call out mistakes.
100%.
That's
what coaches do.
That's coaching. And coaches who don't do that and excuse, Fields had a great game, you should never mention. It's bullshit. This is football. This is how you learn. This is how you get better. And Fields, the competitor he is, the character he has, he knows he had a great game, and he's probably still kicking himself for pulling that ball, the one where they could have converted the 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2. I forgot. That's what you want, and that's a really good thing.
Well, you know what? Also, I want to get your thoughts on, and I see the super chats. I see the memberships. We're going to get to all of it here with Robby Sabo, who's joining us in what has become a usual thing for us. Robby trying to calm me down after very difficult Jet losses. The 2-point conversion in the first half. And this is not a second guess because I said it when I was watching the game in real time. I didn't like going for 2 that early. I don't like chasing points in the first half. I know the analytics say, go for it. You're at the 1-yard line. But, Nick Folk missed the kick. They got lucky. There was a penalty. To me, just kick the extra point. I don't like going for 2 that early. What were your thoughts in real time?
Generally speaking, I'm very conservative with the 2-point calls. I don't like chasing points either.
But if you're going to do it, my thought process was I need a better play call than
Yes.
just like running a shotgun run with Braylon Allen. Like, give me something from under center, run the tush push, do something other than like that felt very Hackett. Like, that's my only criticism of Engstrand yesterday. I hated that particular play call. If you're telling me Mason Taylor was open on the second one and Fields made the wrong read, fine. That's not on the offensive coordinator, obviously. But the first one I thought was a bad play call.
I'm going to go through both today or tomorrow. And I'm sure today will be mostly defense. We'll see. But generally speaking, I'm very conservative. I think it's too early. But I got to be fair. At the time, I was like, okay, that's fine. Because you know why? Then the main reason, their line was dominating at that point. They were pushing guys around. And I get it. Pittsburgh was going to load up. But I was cool with it. I can't say in hindsight I wasn't. So generally speaking, I'm with you. I don't like to chase points. I think they do it way too often. I think we have reached a point where the pendulum has swung way too aggressive in this league. And by the way, Detroit, I got to see the film on that Detroit game because they looked terrible yesterday.
No Ben Johnson, no Aaron Glenn, no Tanner Angstrand.
Coordinators meet coaches. The head coach is not the only guy, folks.
Brain dump in Detroit. We'll see. I still think they're a good team, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just 1 week. We'll see. But I just have to see it to see what happened. Jeez.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got 800 of you in here live. We're presented by FanDuel. Hopefully you took my bet of the week. It was Breece Hall over 19.5 receiving yards. He finished with 38. You mentioned Breece earlier. Robbie, give me your thoughts on just how good he looked. He looked like the guy that we saw pre-ACL injury that rookie year when he was on his way to winning Rookie of the Year.
Tremendous. And the mindset, we talked about it a lot last year. His mindset wasn't there. He had to get to a point where he was full steam ahead, hitting the hole hard, using his elusiveness to complement that, as opposed to the other way around, where he's using his elusiveness primarily and then hitting the hole secondarily. He flipped it. And you could see, like, he hits the hole hard right away. Bam. And
that
then
first run, he set the tone right away for how the day was going to be.
Yes. Over the left side. Tremendous, dude. Like, the O-line really showed up, and it wasn't against Sisters of the Poor. Like, it's against a great front. So, I really do feel confident.
The box score, and I texted you this yesterday when we were talking about the game. If I would have told a Jet fan before this game started, hey, I'm not going to tell you what the score was, but I'm just going to show you what the Jets box score was. 400 yards of offense. They ran the ball for almost 200 yards alone on the ground. Fields would go out there and, have like 270 something yards all by himself. I mean, you would have thought the Jets won by at least 3 scores if I showed you this. That's why it's like, as excited as I am about what we saw from him in the offense, it's like, man, they still couldn't win, and now you got to deal with the Buffalo Bills. It's just that's what's tough, I think, for a lot of Jet fans.
And Jeremy Ruckert made 2 catches, one very
really
tough
good
catch.
Yeah, look, that was the best Ruckert's played maybe ever. Like I was like, wow, this is awesome.
I think I told you there was a stretch in August when he really played well for 7 to 10 days.
Catches, man, 2 big ones. Mason Taylor had the nice 20-yard one. And look, they don't have a wide receiver too, so this is probably a lot of times what it will look like, kind of like a mismatch. But you know what? If the guys don't drop it, right? Like Lazard was inactive, so guess what? The Jets didn't have any drops from any of their receivers. Like if you don't drop the passes that are going to you that aren't designed for either Garrett, let's say Breece, or I think eventually Mason Taylor has a bigger role, you clearly can win with that because of what Fields provides you from an athletic standpoint that you have to account for him on every play.
And here's the best. By the way, that 4.7 yards per carry, that's a hard 4.7. In other words, it should be higher than that in reality because Fields, look at Fields' yards per carry. Usually the running quarterback inflates that number, and he's at 4.
Their longest run was only 18 yards. Think about that.
And in the second half, Pittsburgh was loading the box. My God, they were so disrespectful, but it was the right call. Like, you got to do that when the offense is running on you, and they're running on you in the face of run defenses. That's the thing. So that's a hard 4.7. It's even more impressive than 4.7. The best thing from Fields, the best play, was the Yankee concept touchdown to Garrett Wilson. Because, yes, it was a nice chunk downfield. Timing was nice, anticipated it, but pre-snap, the tight end started out wide. And we talked about this with Breece lining up wide, bringing him in. I didn't see a lot of that yesterday. Arian Smith was out there too for some plays, but we didn't see targets with him. Not much deep with him, but Fields recognized the defense, motioned the tight ends in, and checked at the line. He recognized single high, man coverage, Yankee concept, which they used a lot in the summer. They were working on this a ton.
Explain to those who don't know the Yankee concept, what that means.
So did you see Garrett Wilson run across that over route for the touchdown to the pylon?
Well, he had Reynolds on the crosser too, right?
Yes, and that's basically it, where it's just basically 2 over routes. One guy's designated as under, one is over. And when you're in single high, man coverage, it could be cover 3. You're not totally sure as a quarterback, but Fields knew it was cover 1, man everywhere. That's the perfect concept against man because it is so hard for the corner to carry all the way across the field going vertical. And that's an example of a man beating concept against man coverage. And I think that's what hurt the Jets. And listen, there's stuff to clean up, no question. They got to get better. But I think that is the hidden difference. People aren't realizing that Pittsburgh was in so many perfect concepts against the Jets coverage. And again, I'm going to look at it. They seem to be really predictable. Single high man coverage press a lot in the fourth quarter, but we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's shout out people who entered the raffle. Who else but Bo C? He comes through for the people.
You get the fuck out.
Now, I'm just going to manifest Gibson not being on this team, or at least not being the kicker punt returner. So each drop for the memberships here is going to be the same one. Anthony Logerado.
You get the fuck out.
Thank you, Anthony. And last but certainly not least, Jet Life gifting 5 as well.
You get the fuck out.
Xavier Gibson, please leave this football team. Great question from Connie Carberg. Then we'll get to some super chats here.
Connie.
Legends in the chat. Why was Quinnen out the entire drive?
Yeah.
And McDonald when the Steelers went right down the field. You and I talked about this earlier. If you look at the snap counts from yesterday, and I don't know if anyone asked Glenn about this morning. We'll play the presser coming up. Quinnen Williams yesterday, he played a total of, let's see, he played percentage-wise, where I am I not seeing?
Has to be pretty decent, right?
43 snaps, only 77% of the snaps. Why did he miss as much time as he did on that drive? Was he fatigued? Was he hurt?
I don't know. And I'm kicking myself because in the locker room afterwards, I asked him some stupid ass generic pass rushing question. I didn't think about it. So I was kicking myself afterwards. It's a good question. And I got to the Glenn presser like 5 or 10 minutes after it started. So I missed the beginning portion. I don't think anyone's gotten an answer on that yet. It's very, very, I don't know. It's confusing because it didn't look like Quinnen was puffing on the sideline.
I'm puffing watching the Jets. I mean, it's just, they should have won yesterday, man. Phantom Green and White, thank you. You're in the raffle for one. Let's do some super chats. Then we'll do some calls as well. Joe Mike in the house. He says, Sabo, really simple. Xavier Gibson needs to be cut. Safeties like Justin Simmons, Jabril Peppers need to be brought in for tryouts.
Who was Jabril and who?
Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons is out there. He had a bad year last year, right?
He was with the Falcons, wasn't he?
Yeah. Listen, they need to
He's
work
31.
on it.
What if he's done? I don't know if that's the answer.
They need to work on things. It was very concerning. And I come into this not fully indulged in the film yet, so I'll have a much better idea by the end of today. I want to see Malachi Moore. That's my biasy for sure. I want to see Malachi Moore because I watched a lot of him this preseason and he seems to have the instincts. So I want to see him mixed in for sure.
I'd just rather play a rookie. Like, there's no way he could be worse than what Tony Adams did yesterday or what. And like even Stevens, I know they paid him and he had a good training camp, but like, I don't think they're going to bench him yet, but like the leash should be pretty thin when he used a 3rd round pick on a corner who many thought was a top 50 prospect.
Yeah. He was one of the great mysteries this summer. I mean, he got hurt. In OTAs, he really played well. He was doing a lot of things, sticking to guys, hand on hip, not allowing separation. But then he got hurt in training camp, and then the first week when he wasn't hurt, didn't do much. So he's a real mystery right now.
Apparently, Samini asked Glenn about Quinnen during the presser this morning.
This morning. Okay.
Yeah, AG said he stubbed his toe, but he's all good.
He stubbed his toe.
Of course.
Call tow truck. Get taken care of.
PBM says, what was your assessment of Myers? Are we cooked versus Buffalo? I wanted to win so badly to save the season, and now I'm in pain. When will this FNN? Same old Jets. Mike, if they beat Buffalo, now you're going to say they're going to win the Super Bowl. So I love how insane of a Jets fan Mike is. But go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, dude. Listen, take the pain. Tip your cap to the opponent. Take the pain. It's as simple as that. It's a brutal loss. But while taking the pain, talking about the positives doesn't mean you wash the pain away and you pretend all is well, and you pretend it's a matter of human nature. No human wants to feel like a sucker. And when you constantly believe and you believe and you believe and believe and the team lets you down, you feel like a sucker. I get it. But that's why if you know what you're looking at, you could hold on to legit positives. And
was Myers a positive? Did you see something on film from him yet?
He certainly wasn't a negative. Like there was nothing that is glaring in terms of him misstepping or doing anything wrong. Well, I'll have a better idea after today, but I can't pick out any of the 5 linemen and say awful job or even close to bad job. Like I would have to say all 5 were pretty damn good as of this point.
Also, here's their path to beating Buffalo, right? Bills have to prove they could stop the run. Like the Jets should go out there, dominate the time of possession. This is how they used to have to try and beat Tom Brady. Keep Josh Allen on the sidelines. That's it. Like you have to just dominate the time of possession and make it possible where your defense plays a lot better. You don't have coverage breakdowns. And when you get an opportunity to turn the ball over, do it. Like Rodgers was awesome for a lot of that game yesterday. He should have had 2 picks, including the one at the end of Stevens that was as bad of a drop pick as you will see in a big game. Like let's talk about what happened yesterday.
Rodgers did not carve up the Jets with his arm. No. With the big advantage was what he did at the line and mixed with Arthur Smith. That play is a great example. Yes, the pass rush was it McDonald off the edge?
Yeah, McDonald killing Broderick Jones.
That was the number one factor. And Smith missing in terms of not having the right concept against the right coverage. Because look at Stevens in the flat. It's a zone of some sort. I think they were confused. And Rodgers didn't have the right coverage on or right concept on. So you got to take advantage of those. Those are the times where you really make a difference in the game.
Let's see if Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes have a much better defensive game plan. Bang Mateo, who's the Arthur Simp truther.
The accuracy of Rodgers. And it's subtle shit. It's short stuff. It's putting the ball in the right spot on those fades where Stevens is covering them. Even if there is separation, it wasn't like he tore him up with accuracy every time, but it was completion or what have you. So I think it was just the perfect storm combination. Because that's the only way you could lose if you dominate the line of scrimmages on both units, which is pretty much what happened.
Bo C, if Gibson's returning kickoff Sunday, I might put my foot through my television. We allowed 2 3rd and 10 conversions in the first half. That can't happen. Secondary adjustments are needed. Bills then lose.
You get the fuck out.
I mean, the Bills should have lost last night, but you had an all-time choke job by the Ravens, a 41-25 with 4 minutes to go, and you lose the game.
Yeah, the 3rd and 10 conversion. The one was the Tony Adams missed tackle, right? In the first half.
Yeah, I think that was. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was definitely
That
3rd down.
right.
Not sure if it was 3rd and 10, but it's what you want as a D. Make them throw it. If it's 3rd down, make them throw it short of the sticks. Come up and rally. You gotta play team defense. Them against Arizona in Arizona last year might have been the worst defensive effort I've ever seen from an NFL team. Everyone playing for themselves, not doing the right thing for the guy next to them. That Tony Adams play in the flat is an example of that. And you just got to be outside in. I know you want to use the sideline to your advantage. You're not close enough to the sideline to do it. Play outside in because your help is coming from the inside. Don't miss. Just hold them. Like Sauce's missed tackle on McBride last year. Don't miss. Hold them. Let your teammates rally. Those are the things they were missing yesterday in key spots.
I actually thought they tackled for the most part pretty well.
They did rally. Guys. They did rally. I'd give them a solid B, maybe B plus in terms of rallying and pursuit angles and team tackling. It wasn't terrible. Just that in a vacuum, that Tony Adams example, the Michael Carter miss on the slot screen over pursuing. There were just spots, and I think it was that perfect storm contributing to the perfect storm.
Renzel says, Jake, please stop crying. It's week 1. Already calling for benchings is a little ridiculous. It's really not, Renzel, okay? I don't care if it's already week 1. Brandon Stevens came in to the Jets as a guy with the exact reputation of what we saw yesterday. This is not a short sample size. This is exactly what we saw yesterday. Tony Adams has been with the Jets now for 3 seasons. He's the same guy, okay? Do not tell me that it's already too early to be asking for things like calling for Xavier Gipson to not be out there when we all have been saying this since June. We all have been saying this. Sometimes we as fans actually know what we're talking about. I know it's a crazy concept, but no, it's not me crying. It's me being pissed that I invest my life talking about this team. And the 2 biggest things we talked about this summer, concerns with Stevens, concerns with Gibson, directly led to them losing this football game. I'm not saying bench Michael Carter, even though he had a bad game, because Michael Carter has built up equity that he's a good football player who had a bad game. That happens. I can live with that. I can't live with BS like Xavier Gipson costing this team wins when he should not be out there in the first place. So if you think that's me crying, fine. It's actually me being passionate about a football team that has been so goddamn bad despite having the best fan base in the NFL. So please, GTFO, goodbye.
You get the fuck out.
I cannot do this. Xavier Gipson shouldn't be out there. That's not a crazy thing to say.
No, dude, it was a conversation this summer, a major topic of conversation because of Pritchett and Brandon Smith and Skinner. So no, 100%.
They used a 3rd round pick on a corner. We can't play a 3rd round pick who many people thought was a top 50 prospect. What are we talking about, man? Stevens has played safety before too. Maybe you move him to safety. Couldn't that be a fix as well?
It's definitely a potential, ammo in the chamber for sure. There's, in other words, you're asking for, and you speak for Jets fandom when you say it can't be the status quo.
I just want to be proactive, man. That was the whole issue with Salah. No one was ever held accountable. We were always reactive.
Sure.
Like, let's be proactive and try and get ahead of something that we all see as a problem. Let's not wait until the season's cooked to finally make meaningful changes. Like, I understand it's only week 1, but you know what? That could have cost you a game yesterday. I think it did. And now you're playing arguably the best team in the NFL in your building on Sunday. You could be looking at 0-2 before you have to go to Tampa in their home opener. And like, this thing could spiral. That's why these wins are so important to get when you have a chance to get them. That's why I'm saying we got to have this sense of urgency to not let the season be over by Columbus Day.
Agreed. And I think I texted you at the time of the cuts. I said, this is the first time I'm questioning Glenn this summer, not keeping Pritchett and keeping Gibson instead. I texted those exact words. This is the first time where I'm scratching my head. I'm like, what is going on here? Because Pritchett should have absolutely made the team. Period. Stop.
No, just so disgusted. Some super chats here. Dan says, I hate how in the same situation the Bills can get to the 10-yard line with no timeouts and the Jets can't cross midfield. Frustrating. I mean, the Bills are on a different level, though. I mean, like they have the MVP of the league. They've been they've won the division 5 years straight. The Jets are trying to get to that level.
Continuity with Allen, with Brady. I know Brady's hasn't been there for 5 years, but you get the point. Like they have things rolling. They're in the pocket, as the kids say. And for a first game for the OC, head coach, quarterback with a new team, you can't be upset with the results. It is here. They dominated the fundamental aspects of the game, the trenches. They moved guys.
Only to still lose on somehow, a 60-yard field goal that would have been good from like 70.
Oh, that's another issue. What is the NFL thinking, allowing the special teams to carry their own kicking balls this year?
I didn't know that was a thing until someone messaged me that last night. So for those who don't know, the special teams can now, to your point, Robbie, right? They could actually doctor the ball to get it ready for use. And that's going to allow field goal kickers to have way more range this year than previous seasons.
It's insane. Have we not stretched it for far back enough? Like when they introduced the kicking ball in 99, it wasn't an immediate effect, but it gradually rose until where we are now, where 60-yarders they're making them like throwing Tic Tacs in your mouth. It's absurd.
Here are the rules. Someone sent this to me. Let me give credit to the listener who messaged me. Wins and losses on Instagram sent me this DM last night. I didn't even know this was a thing. I completely missed this. Pre-game prep, a new rule allows teams to prepare or break in kicking balls, the K-balls, for multiple days before the game, similar to the process for regular game balls. This change is expected to make the balls leather softer. Just talking about balls and softer. I mean, have fun, Gator. Which could lead to an increased confidence and different feel when kickers strike the ball, potentially affecting accuracy and distance. I think we've seen that, right? Didn't someone hit from 70 in the preseason?
Yeah, Cam Little for Jacksonville. It's going to be insane. Any fantasy league that didn't adjust the kicking stats on 40 and 50 yarders are just, they're going to have to do it next year because this is going to be wild this year. And what's Nick Folk's reign? By the way, Folk is a godsend. Let's not get it twisted. Jets have been looking for a kicker, so Folk's going to fill that role pretty solidly. But he doesn't have the same range, I guess, as other guys.
Unreal. Let's rapid fire through these super chats here. Let's see. Hexen says, are Wilkes schemes good and just poorly executed yesterday, or are Wilkes schemes something to worry about?
Yeah. I was never crazy high on Wilkes in terms. I didn't hate the hire. I was okay with the hire. Like getting a veteran guy in there with this coaching staff, totally cool with it. But it's one of those things to be determined. We'll see. It was very similar to Glenn in the playoff loss last year. I know they had a lot of injuries, but watching that game closely against Washington, a lot of predictable coverages. And against Rodgers, by the way, here's the good thing, the good news. They came out game plan, blitz like they normally would. And I think I texted you at the time, like, Jake, they can't keep this up. They have to take their foot off the gas and be more selective and blitz up the middle, get interior pressure in Rodgers' face to make him move left and right. They did that, and it worked. So they made good in-game adjustments. But again, the coverage, we will see. Was it too predictable? I don't know. That's the concern right now, that it was too predictable.
Michael, I see your super chat. Stub toe for Quinnen, apparently, is what Glenn said this morning. during his presser. Honey Duke says, tough loss, but if you watch the Giants or Dolphins recap video, they're saying all I wanted was a good game. We got that. Let's calm down and build. I get it, but I can't, as a Jet fan, I'm not concerned with what other teams are going through. They had great quarterback play and still couldn't win. Like, that's just, it's tough, man, because how often have we been desperate for that level of quarterback play? You finally get it and you don't win. That's what hurts. And it's against Rodgers too. It was great yesterday. So it's just like another, another, of course, moment in Jet history.
Quarterback play and O-line play and OC play.
Yeah.
Coaching.
Angstrom was amazing. I'm very encouraged by him.
In this league, again, we'll see what Ben Johnson does tonight with Chicago. It's just 1 week. Obviously, Detroit, Chicago, Ben Johnson. But if anyone, whether you hate Rodgers, whether you love him, it doesn't matter. Just understand the real deal. The Jets under the Rodgers era, it was about coaching. He didn't ruin the Jets. They were ruined before he came. He chose the Jets because he wanted to try to do something special. Is he a jackass? Yes, of course. We know Rodgers is a jackass. But letting him curve your emotions to the point where you don't see the real issue, that it was about coaching, that's where you lose. You'll lose within yourself. So just understand, let the result tip your cap. He had a good game. It just did some great things, move on, and understand what the real rub is. Hey, it really was about coaching last year, and hopefully we got the right guys now, and it looks good, at least on the offensive side.
Bang Mateo actually gifted a membership. He's so happy. Arthur Smith. Well, I think Bang Mateo is a bigger Arthur Smith fan than he even is.
Is he really?
A Jet fan.
Who's an Arthur Smith fan?
Bang Mateo.
How?
He loves a Bang Mateo. He loves Arthur Smith.
Was he work for FedEx? Bang, you work for FedEx? What are you doing?
Dan King, typical roller coaster Jet loss. Have to be encouraged by Fields and especially Membu. Gibson needs to sit. Realistically, Tony Adams and Stevens have 1 more week to show something. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get 1 more week. I would agree, Dan. I wouldn't. Gibson should not be out there, though. I'm sorry. And honestly, it just stinks because Kene getting hurt is why Gibson was one of the primary returners in that spot in the first place.
Yeah, it was brutal. And
well, that's always the thing with Kene. He's always hurt.
Always hurt. I know. I left him off my roster because partly because of that. And I didn't think they needed a 4th running back because Fields is going to be the 4th running back. Let's be honest. But Pritchett, give me Pritchett. Get Pritchett on the active squad, please.
Big fella in the raffle for 5 with this super chat. Thank you, big fella. The Jets beat's awful. No questions about that trash bag. Gibson this morning. I will pay for his bus ticket. Stevens plays like this again. AZ watch has to begin. Start Malachi Moore. The season's far from over, my friends. Well, I mean, Glenn essentially said yesterday with Gibson that it can't happen. You know, that he called out Gibson basically directly in the postgame.
Yeah, he did. He did. And let's keep it real. It wasn't just Gibson. It was Stevens missing the pick. It was the bobbled craziness in the middle of the field. It was some misread on the read. There was, in other words, there were many opportunities, offensively, defensively, special teams, to drive that final nail in the coffin, and they didn't get it done. And I think that's the biggest takeaway because, again, they executed the vision, at least offensively, pass rush wise. Rushing, the type of offense, the cheat code offense, pass coverage is the question. The pass coverage and capitalizing on opportunities will be the deal moving forward.
To be that dynamic offensively and at times dominate, the defensive line against their O-line and just have these breakdowns that were just catastrophic on 3rd and long. It's tough, man. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, good point, man. Very good point. See, we talked about it in the past. The Rodgers offense, Burrow offense, one category. This Jets offense, Hurts with the Eagles, Jaden Daniels, different category. It's a higher ceiling with the Rodgers Burrow because it's a passing league and he could do a lot more stuff at the line of scrimmage. It's very more rigid with the Fields and the Russian quarterback. But if you do it right and you get superb coaching and you complement it with special teams and defense, is what I'm calling you out for, Jake's perfect point. Has to be complemented. The ceiling can't be stopped. I don't know if it's as high of a ceiling, but like Baltimore showed, it can't be stopped. If you do it the right way and you complement it and the coaching is there and the quarterback makes the right decision, cannot be stopped. So that's why I feel so good about it moving forward.
Spencer Green, dude, I lost my membership. How do I get it back? Well, you got to be gifted a membership. So make sure you have that setting on, Spencer, and someone will make it rain and you'll have a chance to get one. Thunderlip says G5 at a 64% target share for wide receivers. Is that sustainable? Well, is this kind of your ideal box score for what you think this offense will look like? Or are there going to be other examples where they can have a ton of offensive success, but there's someone else that's dynamic in the passing attack beyond Garrett?
I think the flexibility week to week in terms of new wrinkles, it'll be there with the run, but it'll be more so about the pass. Because against the run, it could be on tape, but your edges still have to stay home. You still have to do that to respect Fields, and there'll be more space in the middle. The wrinkles come in once you know your O-line's dominant and your rushing game is dominant, and you're keeping players out wide. Like Watt was so frustrated. How many times we see Watt chasing down the line from the backside, trying to make the play, overextending? He had to guess on each play. Think about that. Think about how good Watt and Highsmith are, and the Jets still got it done against probably the best edge tandem in the league. So, Green Bay with Parsons, but you get the point. The wrinkles come off of that. If you know you're dominant in that regard, the wrinkles come off of that with the passing game. So I'm okay with that distribution. Garrett's a little high. If we see the 2-point conversion, we'll see Mason Taylor open or Rucker. I think it was Mason Taylor. But the wrinkles will come in the passing game. So I'm okay. We'll see what happens.
Reminder, this show's available in podcast form, Apple or Spotify. And if you're coming to Tampa, Jet fans, make sure you book a hotel room. We got events planned. We are, 2 weeks away from our Tampa Bay takeover. So looking forward to that. Click the link in the description to lock in a hotel room. Fiore says Robbie's the best analyst out there. Rational, reasonable, completely unemotional. Sucks we lost, but if Fields plays like this regularly, it's a massive positive moving forward. Yeah, I mean, you have a franchise quarterback if Justin Fields plays like that regularly.
Yes, and you have a franchise quarterback within a specific modern day offense. And I saw at Sean Frank or someone in the comments, our offense can't be stopped. That sounds good. I'm not talking about specific to the Jets. The concept, the idea of this type of offense. If the coaching is superb and you have the right quarterback and he makes the right decisions, the concept can't be stopped.
We'll see stay healthy too. The style of offense that you play, if he doesn't know how to protect himself, you can get hurt. So
and Hayden, let's call that this guy, Hayden, the O-line coach. Above Engstrand, above the O-line, right now, I think he would get the best grade from me from any individual in the Jets organization based on yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo does a tremendous job. But many are saying, what would happen if a second Robby Sabo called in to talk Jets and provide a breakdown?
He'd be
Ladies
the
and gentlemen,
one.
Robby Sabo 2 joins us. Hello, Robby.
Hey, Jake. I'm just lost on this team right now. The chat can kill me, make fun of my pale skin, my freakishly healthy hair, my subway sign that I stole from the 42nd Street stop just to confuse some old lady who pissed me off. All of those things said, I'm still confused about this Beast guy. So he lives in his attic, like alone or with his mom. He has all these awards and trophies, Jake. There's an opening at X Factor. I need a big guy like Beast to protect Fialco from all the ladies trying to help him through puberty. Poor kid is traded in his lunchbox and sippy cup for a Happy Meal. Go Jets and follow X Factor. Don't ask me for the web address. I don't know it. See you, Jake.
Thanks, Robby, too. Robby 1, your thoughts?
Who was that? How did that get done?
That was Robby 2.
Gator, you son of a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know.
Kudos, dude. Kudos. It's tremendous.
He made some great points, right? We need to hear from the man himself now. We need to hear from the man himself. Beast?
Oh, delay. Turn your radio down, sir.
We're going to go to school.
Welcome to my classroom of ethics. I thought you were retired. You're a teacher now?
We're gonna start studying some ethics. Xavier Gibson. Misplay, very bad. Deserves a grade F for failure. Defense. Let's see. Missed communications. And in the words of the great Guru Monsoon, there was very much a lot of lacking. And if anyone knows about lacking, I saw plenty of lacking. Number 91
Lacking what?
did not fully go full speed ahead. He should have nailed Rodgers right flat on his ass. He was too chicken because he was too busy dancing and prancing. We ain't gonna have that shit here. It's time. Y'all got to get your acts together and stop playing, tootsie or tootsie footsie and move your asses. That means shit.
Thank you very much for the insight there, Beast.
You're not topping Gator today. There's just no way.
You want to do a couple calls, Robbie, or you got to run?
No, let's go. I got a few minutes left.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. Here we go. And let's say hello first up today to the champ. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Mr. Bonesy.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Bonesy! You're on mute.
Hey, there you go.
Mr. Bonesy, everybody.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Yo. Yeah, how's your mental health today?
Honestly, I feel like let me start off with this question. Jake, what was your prediction for the Jets before the season?
6 or 7 wins.
Right? I mean, like we're all acting like I feel the same way where you can't let a loss slip like this. Like these are the type of games that you're going to look back on the schedule down the road and be like, God, we really could have.
Right. But that was before. I never thought Fields was good or capable of playing that good, right? Like my best version of Justin Fields was like he would like throw a couple touchdowns, have a rushing touchdown, not be like that efficient, that dynamic. I didn't think that was possible. That's what I'm saying.
It's the system, though. Like that's the thing. It's a concept of a system, and that all 11 guys together, it could be really productive. And yeah, I hear you with Fields, but I don't know.
I just like I tried to calm down after watching it and watching I loved how we stopped the run. I loved watching the two big Phillips and Briggs.
Yeah, he must have had a good game. Harrison Phillips must have.
I loved it. We haven't stopped the run in 4 years, so it was keep everything in front of you with Salah, let them run, never give up the big play. And we saw a little bit of a different side of a defense where we were much more aggressive and we weren't on the same page. And you saw a lot of wide receivers running wide open and a lot of handing offs in zones and them not really doing the right moves. And Sauce traveling was great. So traveled all over the field, which was fantastic. But overall, you gotta just feel like we have so many positives to take out of the game that at least and on top of everything, the biggest thing I got out of this game was coaching. Seeing coaching on point, watching an offensive coordinator actually scheme up plays that work and watching our identity of running. Listen, the Steelers defense is no slouch. They have a lot of veterans with Slay and they got rid of Fitzpatrick and they Highsmith's there and Patrick Queen from the Ravens is
Queen's good, man. Queen is good.
They got a lot of good pieces. That's a veteran savvy team that we just punched in the mouth and said we're playing our brand of football and we shoved it down their throats and coughing up that game that Gibson, what it is. He cost us the game. Listening to Glenn back Gibson a couple weeks ago saying the guy hasn't dropped a punt in 45 catches or whatever number he said in practice is just like, all right, Glenn, but
you get the fuck out.
Nwangu getting hurt sucks because probably wouldn't have had Gibson back there, So
yeah.
But overall, it hurts. I needed some time to sleep on it because obviously I was furious when it first happened. Because again, we had control of that game. You don't lose that game when they had less than 240 yards. When you run over a team like that, you're supposed to win the game. So, we're a rookie coach going for 2 sucked. I guess when Nick Folk missed that kick and we got lucky with the penalty, he missed the extra point. Glenn was like, all right, he missed the extra point. Let's let him clear his head and go for 2, which ends up biting us in the ass big time. So those are 2 points we really needed,
Mm-hmm. And the other positives too with Engstrand is he wasn't afraid to throw it on 1st and 10 in big spots. Like, even though they were running the ball well, one of the last drives in the fourth quarter, he came out firing with Fields, throwing it on 1st and 10. So in other words, he's not going to be a guy where we saw with ground and pound Rex teams where they just choke away the lead in a conservative way. Run it into the line, run into the line, run into the line, rely on the defense. No, I don't think that's going to be this. And that's a really good positive.
Yeah. And my biggest, my you know who I was most mad at yesterday? Was Josh Reynolds dropping that ball on the sideline on the like.
Which one was that?
Right. It was like it would have been like a 25-30 yard on the last play of the game, the last drive of the game. I think it was second.
Coming back to the sideline when Fields broke left.
Catch that ball, man. Fields put it right on him. Like,
why don't I remember this?
He was covered. It was tight coverage.
I guess it was.
Was it third down? It was at the third down, the second to last play. I think so.
It was second down. Was it second down? I can't remember if it was second or third, but
it was either second to last play or third to last play, Jake.
Yeah, Reynolds had his hands on that ball, and if he catches that ball, we're basically in field goal range. Because with these new kickoff rules, it's crazy that after we got the ball to the 31, and then we got the first, it was at the 41. We needed 12 yards to get a 50-yard field goal. Like, that game was still there, you know. Like, and I know Garrett drops that ball, and it's a bang.
Plenty of time.
You can't be too mad at Garrett for dropping that ball.
That's a great play by Ramsey too. You know, like,
no, you could criticize Garrett for if you're receiver one, you want to see your receiver one make that catch. Let's be real.
No,
it's fair. It's tough for me once again to get on Garrett and the offense. It just is like he could have made that play, but Ramsey's also a former All-Pro. Like, he's a great player. Like, that was a great player. But it's not by him too.
It's not getting on him saying, "Hey, you're the main reason we lost." It's getting on him in a fair way. Like,
yeah, you can be critical. That's fine. I'm just saying, like, in the grand scheme of things, if like we're listing the things why they lost, that's like a lot further down on my list.
100%. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom, but you know, it's also not just in a vacuum either. There have been times in the past where we've said we want to see Garrett make that catch if he's WR1, you know. So
I'm back here with the white thing. Last thing I'll say before you let me go, I was impressed with how, not that Fields didn't play, you know, like Robby said, he wasn't going through his progressions and everything, but at least
they don't ask him to.
Right? They didn't ask him to.
No.
And when he had to make them tight window throws, he was gunning them in, and they were actually accurate, good balls where people were really worried about him getting that done. And I was really impressed with Fields' play. And God, if we're going to play this aggressive on defense, we need Stevens to catch that interception. That's a game ceiling. That's in his hands. And same, Carter's wasn't as bad, but like if Stevens makes that play, we're not talking about, you know, benching him. So
I'm watching the Reynolds play right now. Pittsburgh, it's 2nd and 3. So it's a great situation for the Jets at the 38-yard line. They blitzed up the middle. They rushed 6 guys and blitzed right at Fields. And the fact that Fields was able to make a little room for himself, fire it to him, tight coverage, but I don't know. I couldn't see if he dropped it. Would have been nice. If he did drop it, they need a receiver too. Point holds true more than ever.
Yeah, that hurt me. I know he did have a guy right on him, behind him, but I didn't see a pass breakup. Like, I didn't see him get his hands in it. It looked like me, just like a hands drop, which it was a good ball and a good comeback to the route.
And the pass pro was excellent all game too. The pass protection by the Jets
had to be. And I loved the long stretch runs, keeping Watt to the outside. Watt was so close to like catching Breece in like 5 yards, 6 yards in the background, in the backfield, and they kept running those stretch plays that kept them on the outside running the other way. And it was almost like you weren't even putting a blocker on Watt, and you were still kind of getting them out of the play. I love Tanner, man. I loved watching his offense. So a lot of positives, but I'm still, you know, didn't feel like the same old Jets, and we're still here with the same old Jets.
Yeah, Bones, a great call though. That's why he's the champ. Calls like that, all fair. It's a tough one.
I'm seeing it, by the way. It was in Reynolds' hands, but whoever the corner was had his hand on it too. Tough catch.
Yeah,
Tough catch.
I didn't think it was a drop. Once again, the Jets
It's
yesterday
definitely not
caught,
a drop. Definitely not a drop.
they caught everything that was thrown at them, which was encouraging. And the reason why was Alan Lazard was inactive. I mean, it's crazy, man.
No more 500 super chats. No more $500 super chats, Jake.
By the way, I've never been more convinced the reason why he was inactive, despite what Glenn will say, oh, well, he was out for a little bit. We didn't know if he was up to speed.
Okay.
They played roster gymnastics. They knew that if they cut Lazard to keep Tyler Johnson, that Lazard would get claimed by Pittsburgh and basically spill the beans on the entire playbook to Mike Tomlin. They knew. So to prevent that from happening, they cut Tyler Johnson, who they felt like they could easily get back on the practice squad. And guess what they did? Used one of the elevations on him, and boom, that's how that happens.
Practice squad guy started the game, folks.
Wouldn't shock me if Lazard's cut this week. I don't care what Glenn says.
Agreed. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either.
You got time for one more?
Yeah, that's it.
Black Gypsy is up next. Hello, Black Gypsy.
What's up, guys? Well, some good news. If you know me and Fields, so
hey, look at that jersey,
dude. The white uniform is just. I'll go white Jets uniform over green any day.
Yeah, any day.
I
love the white uniform.
Yeah.
All right. So from watching yesterday's game,
we're giving one of them away at the end of the show. Black Gypsy, maybe you'll win.
I know.
One.
If I win, I want a Wilson jersey. Couple things from yesterday's game. First thing I'm going to say, Fields played awesome. Way better than I ever expected him to play. I'm on board with Fields. There's a lot of shit that Angstrom did good, and there's something that he didn't do good. He needs to disguise the QB runs a lot better. He needs to do it from different formations and still have that in the playbook. Because yesterday when he got blown up by Watt, it was the same play they ran that he got some yards off before. And they tried to do it again, and Watt just blew right through Ruckert and blew him up in the backfield. Other than that, offense played awesome.
Is that on Angstrom, Robbie, or that's Fields just not reading the
Field
properly?
Yeah,
that's Field.
Yeah,
that's Fields.
The one he got blown up was definitely a read option.
Yeah, he didn't read it right, and they ran the same play twice. The split back motion also, Pittsburgh did not know what to do against split back motion.
Yes,
so we can
did you see that? The pony where they had Braylon and Breece in at the same time?
We can run that play and run the QB runs from that play and be very successful with that play.
Yeah. Yeah, we also saw a QB. We also saw a designed QB draw when they motioned the back and the push. Yeah.
Was that after the false start when he just wanted to get the yards back and they just did like a quarterback keeper, just like
Yes.
That was a good play too. Angstrom was awesome, man. Like that was the best play call we've seen in years.
Yeah. Awesome. Steve Wilkes is garbage. He's been garbage since day one in football. He's never been good. I want anyone here to go and look up his stats, especially when he was with the Dolphins. He is pure ass trash, bro. And we are not going to get better with him on that team.
How does he keep getting jobs, though? We can't be garbage. There's no.
He's been garbage twice. Remember, he was on Miami. I don't live in Miami, bro. Like he was a defensive coach in Miami.
Oh, that's right. Carolina.
Yes, he was trash. He's been trash from day one. AG needs to get his shit together because if he's the defensive coach and we're worse now than we were last year, that's unacceptable. You're a fucking defensive coach. Get your shit together, bro. Because yesterday was horrible. We played zone in spots that we should have not been playing zone in.
It was weird.
Safeties coming up the field for no fucking reason, and then Aaron saw them and just blew them the fuck up.
When was he with Miami?
He was. He was a defensive coordinator with Miami.
I don't even see that on his resume.
I'm pretty sure he was.
I think you got the wrong guy. I'm looking at his thing now.
I thought there was a Miami connection too, to be honest.
He was. I remember. Either way, I might be wrong, but I remember him being on that team. Now, for everyone else that was mad yesterday that we lost the game, we didn't lose the game because even though the defense was bad, we lost the game because of Gibson.
And not catching an interception if you're Stevens. That's a play right there in the game.
That happens a lot. That's why they're DBs. If they were good, there'd be receivers.
I get it.
So him dropping the ball, it happens. The thing that makes me annoyed in watching these games is our reaction to these games. Because you said, Jake, we're a 6-win team. Pittsburgh is a way better team than us. Right? Buffalo is a better team.
Things change, man. Last year, the Commanders won the NFC Championship game. They were kicking second overall. That was based on Fields not being a good quarterback. Everything changes if he plays that well and they still lose. That's why.
And now we have a good offense and a shitty defense. So now we swapped roles from where we had a great defense. I don't know if they have a shitty defense, though. I think they had a bad game. We lost 32 points. The way we lost, it wasn't just. It's the calls. I play a lot of Madden, so when you play certain defenses, you know the open spots. Aaron Rodgers literally played Madden against us yesterday.
Baby.
He did. That's what Aaron Rodgers played Madden against us yesterday. He read the 2 high safeties and blew it up. He
Okay, but
destroyed
that doesn't
us
mean,
yesterday.
but Black Gypsy, that doesn't mean that the defense in its entirety is terrible. They had a bad game.
The
It's very
catches were in
plausible.
open spaces, though, against the calls that you're going to
It's
make with
week
2
one.
eyes.
Let's
I'm
wait.
hoping
Let's
that
wait
they can
until
be better.
Let's
They
wait
can be
until after
coached up.
Baker. Let's wait until after the Bucks game.
All right, so same thing with AG. On Detroit, that defense didn't stop. They had 1 year where they were really, really good because of their personnel. AG gives up mad points. His defenses give up mad points.
Yeah, but they also forced a lot of turnovers, something the Jets had a chance to do yesterday and didn't do it.
And they didn't do it. So personnel-wise, what it looks like this year is our defense is going to be our thing that makes us lose. Because
it's a 1 game overreaction you're doing right now.
It's not a 1 game overreaction by the play calls. I'm not going by the guys missing the interceptions. I'm going by what he's calling on defense.
Well, here's
against the offense. And Aaron Rodgers literally just simplified the offense to go where it needed to go. And he killed us on 2 slants yesterday. That was this long defense. You were in the wrong
Black Gypsy,
defense.
they could make adjustments. Just like remember after the Bengals game in Salah's second year when he all of a sudden took over the play call. People don't know this, but he took over the play calling and influenced it from Ulbrich. And they, remember Quinnen had the blow up with Aaron Whitecotton saying, "Stop blitzing, let us get home with 4." They changed after that. So coaches make adjustments, man. The idea that after 1 game, Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes can't get a talented defense to be a lot better, to me is crazy.
After the first half, right, that you saw that what was his name? Austin and the other guy were getting loose on your coverage from the first half. In the second half of that game, when you went in for halftime, that was the adjustments to be made. They didn't make that adjustment. They came back out and played the same defense and got beat in the same plays on different sides of the field. Like literally what the offensive coordinator did was flip it from left to right and beat him with Austin again.
There's a bit of a fundamental There's a bit of a fundamental play going on right now with Glenn and the Jets. And some of that fundamental rigidity is sacrificing flexibility. And I don't think he wants that, but I think it's somewhat intentional, if that makes sense. Because he's trying to start at the root of everything. I think it's the main reason why he picked this offense, because he wants to start from the ground out, from the trenches out. Defensively, I hear you. There was a lot of single high press. There was a lot of predictable stuff, and Rodgers did own the line of scrimmage and control the game in a lot of ways by picking the right play, picking the right concept against the coverage, picking the right guy to throw to, placing it perfectly. I get it, but let's give it a few weeks.
Look,
see what happens.
We're playing Buffalo next week. That defense that we played this week, we cannot play against Buffalo. They're going to eat us alive if we do that. Like Allen is going to roll out to the corners and kill the 2 high safeties. You cannot do that.
Now, people want to go nuts on me, but Josh Allen isn't even close to as accurate as Rodgers is.
He's not. But the defenses that we're playing is not conducive to us being able to stop anybody if we don't have the personnel to get the interceptions. And Stevens is dropping balls and Carter's dropping balls. It's first week, so I'm calm down because it's the first week. But if I see this shit next week, yes, because I watched the game yesterday and I was.
What was the one adjustment? Give me this. What was the one adjustment the defense did make yesterday? They started out blitzing heavy early in the game, and then they took their foot off of that, and it worked, and they did the right thing. So that's one thing.
They didn't come off the right side with the blitz. It was heavy duty left side blitz.
They need. I wanted them to be more interior. They weren't as interior as I wanted.
As a defensive player, I love my defense.
It was solid. It wasn't bad.
It was solid, but no adjustments were made. So
do you remember McDonald? Remember McDonald shooting to the inside, getting the sack on Rodgers?
Yeah.
It happened because they had a cornerback replace him on the edge. So that should count as an interior blitz where they had McDonald crash down, beat the O tackle to the inside. So that's an example. They did a solid job.
The second half, they tried it a couple of times, but got stuffed, and then the right side was open. And on that pass that Bonesy's talking about, the defender was in front of him. And on the last pass for Garrett Wilson, Fields got him lit the fuck up because there was somebody else open. He got him lit up. And that's the thing that I'm scared of with Fields, because when you pass to your receivers and the defender's right there, they're going to get fucking lit up, bro. And it's Ramsey. He had Ruckert inside that he could have went to Ruckert I literally slowed down the tape and watched the tapes over last night because
I gotta watch it.
the defense really, really infuriated me yesterday because I'm used to the Jets defense playing a lot different. And to see AG do this, he's doing it based on personnel like it's Detroit. This is not Detroit. He needs to get his guys together because Stevens is trash. Stevens is pure trash. He got beat the whole day yesterday.
So let's see if they make an adjustment. They took a corner who many are high on in the third round. There's moves to be made. It's one.
He's done to me. He after Arizona last year and that one game this year, I don't want to see him on the field, bro.
Like Gypsy, here's where I'm at, right? I'm more confident in the Jet defense over the course of the season being better than the offense, even though the defense sucked yesterday and the offense looked great. Like I'm not giving up on the defense that I still think is really good after one bad game.
Will be better this year. The offense is 1,000% going to be better than the defense.
Also, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind.
One.
We're talking about the Jets head coaching staff and the Jets offense not having anything on tape. Jets offense was way more predictable than the Steelers offense in this game because Arthur Smith with Rodgers together, there are zero tendencies to prepare for. So let's see what happens with Buffalo and Tampa.
Black Gypsy.
That's all I got.
I love your passion. This fan base is amazing, man. It's one game we're all screaming at each other.
Yeah, dude.
It's amazing.
Great call.
Robbie, you're the man. I appreciate your time as always. Good job. Great insight. Plug Jet X. I mean, I was checking out all the stories this morning. I read Faria's game recap last night before I went to bed. What do you got for us?
Gator did it for me. I'm good, dude.
We got I just went to the website. We got a Michael Nania piece. We have some Connor Long. We have some Nick Faria. Are we gonna get a little Joe Blewett film this week?
Yeah, I think so. I'll have some stuff too, but I'm getting message that our site is slow right now, which means bots could be attacking it. So I might have to do a little website work, which I hate my life if that's the case. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Robby Sabo. Robbie, you're the man. Go Jets. We'll talk soon. Yeah. Farewell. Robbie 1. Not to be confused with Robbie 2. Hey, if you want a Fields jersey, you saw Black Gypsy showing off one of his raffle wins. You can get the same one or a different color at the end of the show by gifting a channel membership or sending in a $10 super chat or higher. C. He says it was visible this team came out with intensity off the rip, something we never saw with Salah. I do agree. The way they came out in the first quarter was encouraging. How many times have we seen the Jets be so flat? The L stings, but now we have confidence in this team. I don't know. I don't have a ton of confidence in this team. They're playing the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. I think they're going to be 0-2. And then our season's on the line in week 3 against a team that was in the playoffs last year in their home opener. I'm sorry. I hope I'm wrong. I just can they be 1-1 going to Tampa? Then I'll have a lot of confidence. They'll at least be 2-2 after the Tampa Miami game. Because I don't think Miami's very good, but it's still going to be a tough game. It's the divisional opponent. I agree about punching the Bills in the mouth. You have to run the ball down their throats. You got to keep Allen on the sidelines. You cannot turn it over, and you have to force turnovers. Have to. Man with a rake. Second longest field goal ever made at MetLife. Gano hit a 63-yarder on the Giants. Was that last year Gano hit that? I don't remember. Yeah, tough. Tough. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Joseph, who's next. Hey, Joseph.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good, Joseph. How are you? Well, not good, but,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. So, I talked to my cousin because he's a Jets fan, and I kind of was like, hey, what do you want to see the most? And he's like, I just want the Jets not to do Jets things. And I'm not saying we're the same old Jets because that was a totally different offense that we've seen in a very long time. But Gibson, really, that was when that happened, I was like, we're losing this game now because of just one stupid thing. And he also, correct me if I was wrong, I thought he had a second fumble earlier in the game where he put the ball on the ground before he was tackled. And I'm like, so that was 2 fumbles in one game. Luckily we recovered the one, but still, it's like, come on. So I was encouraged what I saw from Fields. It makes me, if he plays like that or something like that the rest of the year, it makes me feel like we're not going to go get a quarterback in the first round, which makes me happy because now we can actually build a team instead of resetting with a rookie quarterback. So
that's a long way to go for that conversation, Joseph. But
no, and I agree.
Yes, if Justin Fields is that good over the course of the season, you're not drafting a quarterback in the first round. 1,000%. I'm with you. But the thing I would bring up to you, though, is the one thing that was actually impressive to me and very un-Jet-like, even though this loss feels Jet-like because they lost, the fact that after the Gibson fumble happened and then 2 plays later, Rodgers is throwing the touchdown, the fact that the Jets then put together a 12-play drive of their own and went down the field and scored a touchdown, that really impressed me because I thought the meltdown, like, here we go. Here comes the 3 and out. It goes back to the Steelers, and that's it. That's all she wrote. What killed them was they lost, I think, all the momentum after the 2-point conversion, not being able to get it.
Correct.
Like, you score this touchdown, great drive. You don't come away with the 2-point conversion, and you let the Steelers hang around, and Rodgers is too good to let hang around. Even though the Rodgers derangement syndrome people refuse to acknowledge the guy could still play, and it was all the coaching last year, not just him. But I digress.
Yeah, before you kick me, I have 2 more things I want to say, and then I'll be done. One would be, I hope Glenn has learned from this 2-point conversion thing going for it so early in the game, because that literally was the deal breaker towards the end. Going for it, and missing all 3. I think it was 3 of them. So, and then I won a bet last night, so that really chewed me up at the end of the night. The Bills and Ravens game, $10 parlay turned into $1,400. So,
you turned $10 into $1,400. What'd you hit?
Lamar Jackson 200 yards passing, Allen 200 yards passing, Zay Flowers over 40, Shakir over 40, Coleman over 20, Kincaid over 40, Henry over 100.
You just played overs on everything because you got a shootout, so that's awesome.
Cook over 40, Allen over rushing 20, Lamar 1 passing touchdown, and a 50% profit boost. Turn into $1,426.
Joe, you buying lunch for the chat today?
I'll buy lunch for you.
You know what? Gift memberships instead. Let the community benefit.
All right.
You're the man. Oh, I'm glad you won your bet, Joseph. Well done, sir. That's a crazy hit. I won my not that anyone cares about my fantasy team, but I did win my fantasy game because the guy I went up against had Mark Andrews, who did nothing. He was like the only player that didn't do anything offensively. I had Zay Flowers, and he had the Ravens defense. So it was 2 versus 1. Like the percentages told me I was going to get cooked because we were like tied going in. And Zay Flowers went off, and the Ravens defense sucked, obviously, and Mark Andrews did nothing. So I actually won my fantasy matchup because of Zay Flowers. But I would trade all of that, I guess, for the Bills to lose. Although, if you want to try and find the fan positive spin on that, maybe the Bills overlooked the Jets a little bit. Have this big win. They're 1-0. They're not going to be as desperate to avoid being 0-2. Or maybe it means nothing, and we all just try and talk ourselves into things. I don't know. Snake Plyskin. Thank you, Snake. Zach Rosenberg in the house. Sent super chat when Bonesy was talking. Can you answer? Oh, my bad, Zach. Here you go. I got you in the raffle for 2. Offense played great. Secondary, very concerned since it was supposed to be a strength of the team. D could not make stops at key moments. Reasons the Ravens got rid of Stevens, can't coach everyone up. I agree. I mean, but like I was willing to give Stevens a chance because Glenn's a corner who signed him. And he had a good training camp. So he's not going to be benched this week. I'd be shocked if they pulled the plug. But Josh Allen's going to go right after him. Same way. Because let's be real. That play and his coverage stats, horrendous. And here's the other thing, too. When you look at his bad coverage yesterday, it doesn't count the PI that he got away with at the end of the game. And it doesn't count the PI that he actually got called for in this game. It was even worse. He was horrendous yesterday. He was the worst player on the field besides probably Xavier Gibson. And it's a different type of role, comparing a starter to a special teamer. Brutal. Joe M., the only thing Gibson should be returning is his uniform. Roster Dread gifted a membership. Thank you, Roster. You're in for 1. John says, play calling was great besides 2-point conversion. Our offense looked competent. O-line looked solid. Defense got to get it together. Gaming with Maddie says, I like Garrett Wilson, but he's a finesse receiver. A rich man's Robbie Anderson. Okay. With respect to Robbie Anderson, who was a very nice player, Garrett Wilson is not a rich man's Robbie Anderson. Stop it. When did Robbie Anderson have the catch of the year in back-to-back seasons that Garrett Wilson did? Come on, man. Robbie Anderson. Even calling him rich man's Robbie Anderson is silly. More calls. Hamburger. He's next. What's up, Hamburger?
What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
The pain never stops, baby. We're back.
Yes, sir. We are back. Listen, I'm not going to come on here freaking out and saying how much the team sucks. I enjoyed the game yesterday. I did not enjoy the loss. Gibson needs to never touch the football for this team again. That's for sure. Stevens sucks too. I would definitely, without a doubt, bench him for the week. You can't let these two players play like this and put them in next week. That's the same thing Salah would have done. I agree with you on that point. But I mean, overall, man, I'm not going to be too down on it. I didn't expect this year to be, we're going to the playoffs. I expect to hopefully win at least 6 or 7 games. I'd like to do more and get a winning season, but I don't know, man. I think you're going to see a lot of what you saw this weekend in the weeks to come. I think that's just this team. We're going to be really good on offense, running the ball. Some teams are going to stop us, some aren't. And the defense is holy, man. We were supposed to have a great secondary, and we kind of got eaten up yesterday. Run defense was really good, but still same old Jets, man. I mean, it's those small things that happen to us all the time, and you just can't get past it. This organization can't get past anything like that, and it's a shame. But I think, at least they played a good game. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to absolutely destroy us, and he really didn't. It was a lot of things that were our mistakes, but I don't think he cut us up too much. He looked good though, for his
When
age.
he had time, he delivered the ball on time. He made changes at the line. He looked like Aaron Rodgers. I love the people being like, "Oh, we haven't seen that." People people act like he was bad in every single game he played with the Jets
last year.
He played unreal in the home opener against New England.
Yeah.
He played unbelievable against the Jaguars, the Dolphins twice. He threw 4 touchdowns in his last game as a Jet in December, and he's running or January, and he was running around
without a doubt.
It's just crazy to me. People acted like that was the first time he's ever played well. It's like, no, man, you just didn't want to believe it. You didn't want to accept the fact that there were a lot of things happening last year that go beyond just the quarterback. And he wasn't even great in a lot of games. But the idea that he never did anything, and this was so shocking. Like, come on.
No, he's not. Listen, he's not the Aaron Rodgers of old. He's a good, serviceable quarterback that can make some hell of a throws still at his age. I mean, some of the throws that he made were pretty awesome yesterday. But listen, man, I'm not that down on the game yesterday. Am I pissed off? Yeah. Was I mad that we gave it away? We shouldn't have had that timeout when we were going for the extra point. I mean, that killed us at the last drive of the game. We needed that extra timeout. But I mean, Gibson, Stevens, gotta go. And just, I don't know if Gary comes on anymore. I don't watch as much as I used to, but I am starting the carnivore diet today. I am not eating sticks of butter, but I am starting the carnivore diet, trying to change up some things. Right now, I got some inflammation in my neck, so I'm just going to try it. That Garrett Wilson hit yesterday kind of.
That did it for your hamburger?
It hurt me through the TV that I have a stiff neck now.
I'll tell you what.
I took the day off today.
That's exciting news, not about your neck, but that you're taking the necessary steps to be more like Gary.
Yeah, that's it. I just want to be like Gary. No, just
It's extraordinary news, Hamburger. Give it 30 days. You might have some electrolyte issues the first week or so, but if you give it 30 days, you'll feel like a new man. The inflammation, the aches and pains. Like I got arthritis really bad in my hands, my knuckles, my shoulders from boxing all those years.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 20 again. Like the inflammation, the pain.
I'm gonna give it a try, Gary. I read up on it a bit. I'm gonna just give it a try, see how I feel after 30 days. And it's I like meat, so I like eating meat, so I'm obviously the hamburger. So
you were designed to eat meat. That's my point. You were designed to eat meat.
Well, listen,
much meat.
Listen, I don't know. I think by Speaking of, hold on, off topic. How's he doing with his job, Jake?
Well, I mean,
is he still working?
Is he working to get a job, or is he working anywhere?
Oh, I thought he was working at Burger King.
No, he never got that job.
It didn't work out. Okay. Yeah.
Never mind.
He showed up and they're like, "Man, we can't hire you. You stink."
Oh, sorry, Bobby.
No, he didn't get the gig. He's working hard though, Bob. I'm encouraged by his pursuit of employment. Unlike Gorman, who just feels like a lost cause.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm gonna give it a try, Gary. My wife told me I should see a doctor first, but I said I talked to Gary, and Gary says I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah, like if your wife has any questions, have her shoot me an email. I'll respond. I'll let her know.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do
Hamburger's gonna be just fine. Yeah. Well, you're not looking to lose weight or anything, right? You're just looking at the.
No, I'm looking at. Listen, I'm going to start work once this heals up again. I'm going to start working out. Me and the wife, we got a nice vacation planned in Mexico in December. So I'm going to try to get some form back, looking a little tight.
Yeah.
And I kind of disappointed her on the cruise when I took my shirt off.
You
know,
gotta
a
look nice,
little-
but you gotta look nice for the lady. Yeah.
the titties hanging out and the belly was a little big. So we got to get in shape again. The
You got
hamburger
that
was
little
once in,
spare
the
tire
hamburger
around
was
the
once
bottom.
in tip-top
It
shape,
happens.
but
Yeah.
so
Give it
Well-
30 days. I promise you. After 30
Yeah.
days, you'll love it.
Yeah, we'll
After
see how it
90
feels,
days,
man.
yeah, you'll feel like
I
a
will
new
not
man.
be eating sticks of butter though. I will incorporate butter into my meals, but I will not be eating sticks of butter.
The eating sticks of butter. If you're eating very low fat meat like turkey,
I'm not. I'm going to eat good meat.
Hamburger, thank you. Gary, since you were already on the line, we'll do your call next, and then I will get to the remaining super chats. We are doing a raffle at the end of the show. Our weekly raffle is tomorrow, so for anyone who wants a chance to win a signed Mawai, Sauce, Weeb, or name it signed item, today is your last day to enter. Hello, Gary. Is that a Fields jersey?
It is. It is. The one guy you can't blame for yesterday, Justin Fields. Oh, they're gonna get mad because he should have ran for the first down.
I thought that in real time. Watching it back this morning, it was not a lock that he was going to make it.
Okay. You watched
Like,
it back? I can't watch it back.
On the all 22 angle, there's like 3 defenders there. I'm going to bet on Fields' like athleticism because he was a stud, but it wasn't a given.
I got good vibes about Fields, right? I've always been a Fields fan. I'm like I said, my wife, my brother-in-law, that whole side of the family, huge Bears fan. And I was like always simping for Justin Fields when they would say he sucks. I'm like, he doesn't suck. Now I got what I wished for. And I got to tell you, game one, I'm pretty happy with what I have in Fields. What I don't like and I love this fan base, is that, well, it's positive. It's good enough. Like, you can take good things from it. We lost a game we should have won to a team that we're going to be competing for that final playoff spot, right? It's unacceptable. We're better than the Steelers. We were better than the Steelers yesterday. It's not okay that we lost that game. I'm just so – a 60-yard – like, yo, Jake, this 60-yard field goal that this guy hit with a minute left, 60 yards out, splits the uprights perfectly down the middle with 7 or 8 yards. Who kicks a football like that? With a game on a line in the Meadowlands. Who kicks a ball like that? That kick was insane.
Well, I said it yesterday. The last time the Jets, I think, benefited from a team lining up for the win and missing their kick, I think you got to go back to Zach Wilson's rookie year when they beat the Titans in overtime and Fat Randy, the former Jet kicker, Randy Bullock, missed the kick.
Yeah, the other one I thought was Denver missed the field goal that kept the Jets in the game, and then Greg the Leg missed the field goal on the other.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep. They didn't even take advantage.
Yeah. A couple of things though. Gibson, I love Gibson. I'm his biggest fan. This is Stan. We said this in the offseason. He doesn't have a spot on the roster, and then he fumbles the ball. You're not overreacting by saying, because it's not like you were saying Gibson was great yesterday.
Get the fuck out.
We've been saying this for over a year. We've been saying, like, why is he here? I love the guy. I love his story. But I root for the name on the team on the front of the jersey, not necessarily the back of the jersey. Gibson doesn't belong. He's not good enough to be on the team. I also don't think you're reacting over Tony Adams. We were saying the same thing about, I didn't think Adams might not even make the team. It's just not like out of the clear blue, we're saying to bench these guys. I don't even see a spot for him on the roster. Now, Adams, I don't know, as a backup, the back end of the roster is not great. Maybe you have a roster spot for him, but he's not good enough to be a starter.
He played 100% of the snaps yesterday, which is insane. 100%. He played 100%. Tony Adams played all 56 defensive snaps, which was 100%. The only guys here are the guys on defense who played 100% of the snaps yesterday: Adams, Sherwood, Cisco, Sauce, Stevens, and Quincy.
The thing is, I guess, and this is my point. I want to go to Stevens, right? Because I do think you're overreacting over Stevens. Look, he was bad. There's no question about it. But there's 2 points that we're going to make to kind of defend him. A, who do you want to play? AZ Thomas? Stiggers? Like, who do you actually want to put out there that you think is going to do better? That's one. And two is, look, he was the starting cornerback on a good team with a good defense for the last 2 years. Now, he's not the reason, but you can cover him up.
But Ravens fans were celebrating him leaving their team.
They won 25.
Kyle Wilson started on a good defense too, once upon a time.
That's a fair point. What I'm saying is, though, he's not so bad where you can't cover him up, right? Like you got to scheme him right, and you have to have good players on the rest of the field. But I think
he's probably going to get another game, Gary. But I think they need to be more proactive as a staff than what we have seen. If he continues to struggle, they need to be ready to go to AZ Thomas. They used a 3rd-round pick on him. Have him ready to go. Like that guy is, to me, like listen to how the draft people talk about AZ Thomas. The only reason why he fell to the 3rd round is because he was slow at the combine. Who cares? If the guy could play football with pads on at a high level, that game speed matters more than underwear Olympics.
You know, I agree. If your quarterbacks are running 40 yards in a straight line, you got bigger problems, right? Like you got bigger problems. I've always thought the 40 times are overrated because cornerbacks don't run straight lines forward like that, right? They're backpedaling. So if they are running 40 yards straight, you got big problems. The other thing I wanted to address was the 2-point conversions. I'm fine. I got a gambler's mentality. I don't even think it's a gamble. I think it's calculated risk. Early in the game, you don't know that it's going to be a 1-point game or a 2-point game. You don't know that, right? Take the extra point. Go for 2, right? Like they're running. I don't like the play call just giving it to Allen up the middle, but I'm fine with it. Like real men go for 2. I really believe that. Like statistically, if you do it, the analytics will tell you to always do it, right? Because if you do it, you're going to get it more than 50% of the time, and you're only going to hit the extra point like 92% of the time or 93% of the time.
Well, the play call was not great.
The
for that
play call, I agree.
Like shotgun run from Braylon Allen, I don't like that. I'd rather just have the ball in Fields' hands or run something from under center and do it that way.
I don't mind the decision. Like the decision, I'm fine with. It's the play call. Both play calls on both 2-point conversions weren't great. And then the people who always say kick the extra point say, look, you didn't get it. You didn't get it because the play call was bad. That's why you didn't get it.
Yeah, but that's the risk in going for it, though.
But you have Justin Fields is the fastest guy in the field. Why would they took
the ball out of his hands? So that's part of the problem too.
That's my issue. Is if you have the fastest guy in the field under center, like that is such a threat.
I just think it's so early in the first quarter to be doing that. Like you're at home, your defense is playing really well, you're moving the ball on offense. Don't give Pittsburgh momentum by scoring a touchdown and then not getting the full 7. Like you got a break. Nick Folk missed the kick, but there was a penalty on it. Just take the PAT and let's go up a full touchdown and go from there.
Look, I understand that line of thinking. I'm just defending. Like if this was basketball or baseball, an analytics-driven sport, you would always see it. It would always go for 2. Football, it's less analytics-driven than
there's emotions, though.
Now.
There's momentum. I think you give the Steelers defense a lot of momentum there.
Yeah, I just think if the play call is better, if you roll out Justin Fields and make them commit, kind of like a college play where the quarterback's fastest guy on the field, now you have to make a decision. Do I pursue the quarterback? If I don't, he's going to run in. Or do I make him throw the ball? If I make him throw the ball, now that you just bring somebody out and he's standing right there. It was the play call I didn't like. The decision I can live with. It's unorthodox. It's not conventional, but I'm okay with that. The last thing I want to talk about was Braylon Allen. I don't know. He busted the one run, but I watched him the rest of the game. Like, this guy sucks. And then every time I'm done with him, then he does something good. Like, he busted, a 10-yard run or whatever to get in the end zone. That was a hell of a run. It was a great run.
It was also blocked really well. They had 8 guys in the box, and each blocker for the Jets found a hat, and Allen was awesome.
What are your thoughts on Braylon? I watched him for, like I said, 90% of the game, and I think he sucks. And then
I like him. He's not Breece Hall. And this idea that Braylon Allen, everyone likes Braylon Allen because he had a couple moments last year, and he looks like he's a sculpted like human specimen. But Breece Hall's really goddamn good, and that was the best Breece has looked in 2 years yesterday. So he's the guy. And if you look at the snap distribution, the Jets told you what they think of Breece. They were riding the hot hand. He was out there for 58% of their snaps compared to the other running backs. Braylon Allen was out there 31%. Isaiah Davis, who had a couple nice pass pickups and protection on third down, was out there for 12%. Like, That to me is how the distribution should be. And I like the fact that they had the one play where they both were on the field together and they had success. And I think it was Black Gypsy who made a good point. You could run a lot of quarterback design runs for Fields out of that. If they're all accounting for Braylon and Breece, all of a sudden you got like there's a lot of things they could do creativity wise when you have that many good running backs.
Yeah. I
like Braylon Allen, but like I've been a big Breece guy for a while, and I feel vindicated after watching him do what he did. I think Breece last year was banged up. It was a horrible offensive line. They were 31st in run block win rate. We know Rodgers obviously checked out of a lot of runs too, although I don't think that was the biggest problem. Like I think Breece was in a bad spot. He didn't have a good year. I think this year in a contract year, he's ready to roll. I think he's another year removed from the ACL. I think he's going to go out there and have a big season if he's healthy.
I feel great about Breece. Like the trading for a 4th round pick or whatever the people were saying, which was absurd. Like that was extraordinary. Trading for a 3rd round pick or 4th round pick is one of the best backs in football. And he showed that he was phenomenal yesterday, right? Like best player on the field yesterday. So yeah, I feel better about Breece Hall, but I was never worried about Breece Hall, honestly. Like he had a bad season last year. Like everything went wrong last year. Sauce
was excellent yesterday.
Was he though?
What do you mean?
Was he? Yeah. I feel like he let up. How many catches did he let up? He
One.
Like he let up a lot of
One. What game did you watch yesterday? Yeah,
he only let 1 catch. I feel like he let up a lot of catches. Is that wrong?
You've had a lot of bad takes. Sauce was amazing yesterday. The one catch he let up was the freak play where it bounced between 4 guys and somehow didn't hit the turf.
All right, maybe I gotta go. All right, then I'm tripping.
Dude,
then.
Sauce was awesome. And he also, I thought, was really good at tackling too. Like he was in there. He was willing to get in there and wrap up. And Sauce was awesome. Did you watch Sauce Gardner? You think it was Brandon Stevens or Michael Carter? They had bad games.
No. Those guys were terrible. I just like I've defended Sauce. I said he should get paid. I said you should give the money. I just thought he let up a bunch more catches than that. Maybe
he was awesome.
All right.
DK had a lot of his catches when they were in zone at times, or they had that one screen where they had the bad tackling on it.
All right.
In the second half, he shadowed DK like the entire time.
You showed this. You can't argue with that. That is 4th. Yeah, you're defending one of the fastest guys.
Nate says that your Sauce take is the result of talking too much football with you for once and not pivoting to the moon landing or women.
Nate, I love you. Nate, you like to come on a Jets YouTube show and talk about me. I'm not that interesting. I promise. There's a lot more interesting things that you could talk about than me. I promise.
Amanda says, I'm losing brain cells listening to Gary's nonsense.
Well, my take, I get after Jake just owned me with that stat about Sauce, it's a bad take. My take on Sauce Gardner was a bad take. I just say I'm wrong. I can't argue against that.
I just don't. There was like no play that he was involved in where I was like, man, would have been great if he could have came up with that. Like, it's not like he was like in position to make a pick, and like he was locked out. He was great.
Stevens, as far as Stevens dropping the ball, I get like what Black Gypsy is saying. Like, if he could catch those, he'd be a receiver. You got to catch.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to chase down Stevens? No way.
You got to catch that. I get he's not a receiver. Cornerbacks are paid very handsomely. You can't be dropping that. How much is he making? He's making a lot of money, right? The Jets just signed him. I'm sure
they gave him $36 million. Brandon Stevens contract. They gave him a lot of money. I mean, they paid him 3 years, $36 million.
Making $12 million a year. You can't be dropping those. That's what we're paying you for. I get he's not a receiver. You still got to catch that. That's a gimme.
It was.
I'm not asking him to make one-handed catches like Garrett Wilson. That one you got to catch, Stevens.
Gator. I was laughing at Gator's comment to you before. Where was it? I just lost it. It was basically if you thought Gary's moon landing take was bad. But anyway, Gary, I'll get you out of here before you offend people. All right.
All right. Sounds good, Jake. Appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary. All right. Let me get caught up on super chats. King and Dream says nasty work. Amen. Defense was nasty, that's for sure. Spencer Green says, I'm sick of these damn ads. Mad I can't be a member on my phone. YouTube do better. I recommend YouTube Premium to everyone. I think it's worth it. If you watch a lot of Jet YouTube shows or just YouTube stuff in general, to be able to bounce around for 5 with this.
Let's get brick up.
We haven't played that one in a while. All right. Let's get back to your calls here. We're going to have another long show as these Monday ones typically are. Hennessy says, didn't we hear how great the defense was all summer? Can't believe I saw an actual offense that's encouraging. I want Pritchett activated today. Amen. I mean, the Jet defense, I still think is going to be a good unit. I'm not letting week one overreaction completely change my opinion. King and Dreams. Sauce was lit. Chill out. Amen. Henny says good teams take advantage of opportunities. They do. Good teams win that game yesterday. The Jets are not a good team yet until they prove it. They had a great offense yesterday. Spencer Green. Gary, tell him. Actually, let me do it. Sit down. Turn the volume up. Pay damn attention. Gary spitting facts. Enjoy the show, people. Don't take his presence for granted. No one Spencer Green loves more than Gary and Beast. It's incredible. I love it. Spencer, that's 2 more raffle tickets for you. All right, more calls. Adam, who was at the game yesterday. Hello, Adam.
Hey, I was really happy with the seats at least, but I was not happy with the fan turnout. That was at least 40% Steelers fans. It was not even loud at the game, which I thought was an embarrassment. It's like, if we want to be a great team and then relinquish home field advantage, what does that even mean then?
Well, you know what, Adam? To defend every Jet fan, win games, man. Steelers fans travel well. They're in the playoffs every year. The Jet fan is beleaguered. You know, they're like, if they're really good, people are going to show up. That's just kind of how it goes.
Just endure the suffering.
I thought it was loud, though,
every
from what
year.
I heard on TV. I thought the Jet fans were loud. J.J. Watt referenced it on the broadcast, and at first he thought it was like 50 to, it was like close to 50-50 Steelers, the Jet fans. And then he's like, when the Jets were rolling on offense, he's like, it sounds like it's 70-30 now.
It was definitely 40%, and like the decibel levels were embarrassing. Even the stadium like tries to rile people up. It was almost.
Did they show Ed on the Jumbotron?
Yeah,
good.
It was embarrassingly low. Like if we want our team to be good, we do have to support them in the stands when it's all said and done.
Look, I mean the Jet fan that sold their tickets or didn't renew, can you blame them? Like this team has been horrendous for 15 years.
Yeah,
they won 5 games last year, and they've raised ticket prices the last couple of years. It's not like they decreased them now that Aaron Rodgers is not the quarterback anymore.
Sure, but in all fairness, at least that is the good part about scoring, because that will get more butts and seats.
Right, but like, but Adam, like,
game.
I can't criticize this fan base that is not necessarily there or sold their seats to Steelers fans who wanted to pay 3 times the rate. Like if you want fans to be there, win football games. It's not that complicated. Like I was the greatest sporting environment I've ever been at was Rodgers' first game 2 years ago. Like that, I think it was actually 2 years ago today. So brutal, but like that was the best environment ever. Like that, that to me is the like quintessential, like how special this fan base can be if there's a reason to believe.
And I was at the home opener last year, and it was just fundamentally different. And I know that was a primetime game, but it was also a Thursday night game, which isn't always so exciting. But it was
Rodgers' return. They were 1-1. They were coming in off a win against the Titans. Like it's, I think there'll be a good crowd against the Bills on Sunday, but there's gonna be a lot of Bills fans there too. There always is.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, why relinquish the advantage? I guess that's the way I look at it, right?
I get it, but you know what? The Jets have had the fans have been there to try and give this team an advantage, and they've sucked anyway. So, like, you know what? How about they win games and then we'll be there?
Sure, that's fair. That's fine. In terms of some of the stuff that we had that I'm sure was I don't want to talk about stuff that's already covered, but things I don't think was covered too much. I actually think Breece made the O-line look better than they were because he was doing so many cuts. He was making a lot of dudes miss. He was getting those extra yards here and there. I think it made the O-line look good. It'll be interesting to see, if that can be maintained. But I mean, stat-wise, what more do you want, right? But I thought Breece was a big part of the production in the run game. Like, there is no substitute for him on the roster right now. Because we saw from Braylon, but I'd like to see a little bit more Isaiah Davis actually at this point. Like to see a little more of him give it a shot. So I thought that was cool.
I think they're going to ride the hot hand. I think that's their offense.
Fair.
I think Breece is the best running back on this team by far when he looks like that. It's like his talent level is far greater. There's a reason why Breece was thought to be a guy who can go in the first round. Braylon Allen was a day 3 pick. Isaiah Davis was a day 3 pick.
Yeah. And then some of the other things that I thought was interesting was I actually don't know how good our run D was because Rodgers was just throwing the ball so much. I mean,
it was very good.
It was good, but he was also throwing like crazy. He was throwing like
he threw like crazy because the Jets were stopping their run.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I thought the game plan was let him pass, just like he did last year for the Jets. Just let him pass. Let him do his thing.
That's not how that works, though. They literally were stopping the run, and Rodgers made some incredible throws. The Jets also had some coverage breakdowns on some 3rd and longs. Like they They were excellent against the run yesterday. That was not the problem. They tried to run it a lot, and they couldn't.
Statistically, yes, I agree. It'd be interesting to see if that happens. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it took a step back, but the pass.
They ran the ball 20 times, and they averaged 2.7 yards per attempt on the Jet defense. The run defense was fine. It was the pass coverage that was horrendous.
Well, I'll tell you what. With Mike, I think it was this part was mentioned, but like the fact that like Stevens had a bad game, Michael Carter had a bad game. Like, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. It's like 2 or your 3 top backs are not looking good. You can't have
especially if Stevens is that bad. I think Carter was a lot better in the second half. I mean, the first half he struggled fine, but like Stevens was bad the entire game. He got away with a PI at the end that also would have cost them too.
But I also think like I don't think the fan base all totally like subscribes to this, but like it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just blend AZ in. Like let him do a couple of defensive stand drives himself. Like it doesn't have to be like every play's got to be Stevens. Like I thought it was very interesting that like the rookies on defense, especially, like, they weren't like eased in at all. Like they didn't play, and I thought that was it was interesting. Whether that was just a trust factor, earn your right kind of deal. But everything we thought about Stevens was true. So it's unfortunate because like that's the thing. Like he clearly understands the assignment. He can't like deliver. Like it's an execution issue, and that drives all the fans nuts because like that's the big complaint. He's in the right place at the right time, and he can't get the results even though he's there. It's crazy. So he's super coachable.
Right, but that's why good call, Adam. That's why you need to be willing to make an adjustment quicker. It's not like a one-off with Stevens. He's a veteran player. He's been in the league. He's on his second contract. You paid him $36 million. Tony Adams on a 1-year deal for $3 million. We know what he is. He was a nice story. He's a UDFA. He had the great pick against the Eagles 2 years ago. I'll always remember that win. Great. I want to win games now, man. I'm not losing games to Tony Adams or Brandon Stevens when I at least have guys that this new regime picked in the draft that should be viable replacements. They can't be worse. You can't tell me Malachi Moore is going to play worse than Tony Adams. And if he does, you know what? At least he's getting reps. A.Z. Thomas was a 3rd-round pick. Play him. Or if you want to give Quantez Stiggers an opportunity. I know Nate is probably, rock hard right now hearing that name, right? Nate's up next. Hello, Nate.
That quick already, Jake? How are you?
What's going on? I hear you.
I don't know. I'm kind of half out on Quantez Stiggers, but that's a story for another time.
You're half out? That's your guy.
Listen, I'll talk off the air about that. But I'm half out on Quantez. I got half my foot in and half my foot out. I'm not all the way out. I need more details. But anyway, I kind of agree with Adam's last point about the. You just said you brought up the stats. Like they did run the ball 20 times, but Rodgers does check out of like into those RPOs a lot. I mean, not the RPOs, but those little screens. That's his version of like the running game. Shout out to the big fella. He's been on the Gibson. I think he sent in like a massive super chat the day the 53 came out about how much he hated Gibson and was going to protest the team. And I kind of thought he was overreacting and didn't think it was going to hurt us as bad as it did week 1. Well, it ended up hurting us. That was
Who did that?
I think Big Fella. Didn't Big Fella do that?
It sounds like something Big Fella would do. He's
been on the Gibson hate trains for a while, and when the 53 dropped, he was just like, "I'm done." I didn't think it was going to hurt us that bad. You keep saying Stevens should be benched. I think he's the one we need to be making noise about because, Stevens also. You just said he played 56 snaps, right? He played 100% of the snaps. So there's he might have made 1 or 2 good plays. Gibson doesn't. Did Gibson get any snaps on wideout? He doesn't do anything, right? And Aaron Glenn preaches versatility for the depth guys. Like if he drops the ball all the time while he returned, which is the most critical thing for return man, is to not put the ball in the ground. Like if Devin Hester fumbled the ball, he wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But Gibson's not even that good at returning it. There's no reason. I think Robbie mentioned earlier. I think hopefully we'll see Gibson cut and Pritchett, who's on our practice squad, called up to take his spot. But I do want to push back a little bit, Jake, on your somewhat overreaction yesterday. And I know you're saying a lot of other people are overreacting today too, and everyone's emotional because it was tough. Like you called it. Like Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns. It was what we were all imagining was our worst nightmare. But on the flip side, like it wasn't a 45-3 Patriots loss. And Jake, do you remember the Jalen Brunson's first game as a Nick?
I remember Jalen Brunson. I think it was against Memphis.
Do you know if they won or lost that game?
I don't, but there's 82 regular season games compared to 1.
But that's my point. Okay, no, I understand that. It's not as important. But what I'm saying is, Knicks fans knew within the first 10 games, 5 games, whatever it was, like, oh, shit, Knicks might have found their point guard that they've been searching for 20, 30 years. So I think, like you made the point, you said yesterday, fine, you could be excited about the OC and the quarterback. Those are two things. Like, that's not the long snapper and the punter, though. We're talking the OC and the quarterback. Those are like two of the most important things to win football games in the NFL. So we have a quarterback who's in his, what is he, 25 years old, something like that, winds up being really good and ends up having this Sam Darnold, Geno reclamation project we're all imagining in our heads. That's why we're excited over a loss. So it's like, yeah, the result sucks. But I know there's everyone in the chat like, oh no, you can't be positive. It's a loss. But Jake, you do a full-time show 4 hours a day to talk about all this bullshit. So it's like we are allowed to talk about, Gary doesn't want the 2-point conversion. That's why you have a show for 2 hours a day, twice a day, so we can talk about all the nuances and decision making and the jersey colors. And we're obsessed over everything. So I think that's a little fair to be like, yeah, we lost the game. We're not allowed to be excited or comment over everything. Just be miserable and upset about everything and your wife. And it's like, no, we're allowed to be.
Well, I'm not going to tell anyone how to be a fan.
I think
I can only tell you how I feel. That while there's certainly a lot of positives, like to me, this still just hurts too much to even like be that excited about them to overshadow the devastation that I'm feeling from the loss. But if people want to be positive after one game, God bless them. I wish I could.
Yeah,
it's better for the show, truthfully, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of
it.
good clips from the last 24 hours.
No,
but
I'm saying it's better for the show if I'm positive. People want to hear about good news, not bad news. Like, believe me, the views creator wants the team is
true,
gone.
But the other thing, like Robbie's been mentioning it, and I don't think we made enough noise about that. We really did kill them at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and these were things that we were all bitching about last year, about not being able to run the ball for 2 yards or 3 yards, on third down or fourth down, or we snuck the ball in from 2 yards away for a touchdown. Like, when was the last time you saw it? The things that struggled for us last year in scoring within the 5, even stopping the run, on vice versa, right? You gave the stats. Well, they rushed the ball 20 times for 40-something yards. Last year, everything was 4 yards a clip, and easily they weren't even getting touched until they got to the second level. So it's like, I'm just looking at it, and I'm sure people are going to say I'm looking at it in green glasses, but I have some perspective on what we saw last year, coaching-wise, offensive coaching, head coaching, quarterback play, all of it. So I'm absolutely disappointed in Gibson. I'm disappointed in Stevens, and it sucks because every single Steelers fan was saying that. My boss was a Steelers fan. He's like, yeah, we're going to go after Stevens. We remember him from Baltimore. He absolutely sucks. And we're going to go after, we got 3 tight ends, and we're going to attack your linebackers over the middle. So it sucks that we kind of knew what was going to happen, and it still bit us in the ass. But I'm okay with giving Stevens one more shot. I'd rather have, Tony Adams is on my chopping block first. I remember talking to Dylan last year and asking him, what's Tony Adams good at? And he couldn't tell me. I think he said like short, intermediate man coverage. And like, he's really just not good at anything. He's one of those Gibson and Tony Adams. They were nice UDFAs that, helped us out once or twice, win the Philly game, win the Buffalo game. But it's
my rookie safety, who I thought looked pretty good in the preseason, Malachi Moore, an opportunity.
Listen, I wouldn't be mad if Tony Adams or one of those guys like pulled a hammy and we just kind of have the Brandon Stevens talk, because he has had some history at safety. And if we're going to play a lot of man coverage, right, I'd rather have, and he's a good tackler, I'd rather have Stevens out there as a quasi safety and some type of nickel role, and maybe have AZ Thomas or like you said, Stiggers. But I don't know, Stiggers more of his own guy, so I think I'd rather see AZ one-on-one and man out there. Well, first game, they're going to make adjustments. And
how was the atmosphere, Nate? What do you think of the crowd?
I'm with Adam, but I've given up on the atmosphere. Like, honestly, like I've said it. I called out the Jets fans couple days ago on your show about everyone needs to come, but I just know it doesn't happen anymore. Like, it's never going to be like it was until 2009, 2010. Like, do I dare say Jets fans are fair weathered? Because I know Knicks, no matter what, 9 wins, 10 wins, opening week at the Garden, packed, sold out. Yankees, Rangers, everyone.
18,000 compared to 80. And
I get it.
And MSG's it's the venue's excellent. Like, there's an experience there. MetLife,
I guess
there's no experience.
Some of us enjoy Jets games live more than others. That's what it is. Some people enjoy the flat screen TV and then want to complain about how it's not loud enough and on everything else in the stadium. So I don't know. I say,
you get the fuck out.
I like Nate's pettiness there. Look, I mean, the experience on TV is a lot of times better than going as a fan. It just is. I had 3 TVs going yesterday. I'd rather be able to watch all the games. Yesterday was a crazy sports day too, between week 1, Jets and Giants playing at the same time. Plus, you have all the other games. Plus the U.S. Open final, plus Yankees playing a huge series against Toronto, Mets playing a huge series against the Reds. It was like a sports cornucopia yesterday. All right, we are almost at we're over the 2-hour mark here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep getting into your calls, but I removed the call-in link. So if you're on hold, you're guaranteed to get on the show. We have Will Parkinson coming up in the 4:00 hour today for our second show. Jordan says, "Can you put me in for the Fields jersey? Don't know how to give memberships. Send in a super chat, Jordan, and I got you. $10 or higher, we'll get you two. You can only gift memberships from a laptop or desktop. Can't do it on the iPhone, which is a huge pain in the ass for everyone." Robin Boy in the raffle for one. Austrian Jet fan in the raffle for one as well. Oh, yeah. That was me watching the Jets yesterday. More calls right now. Let's say hello to Pork. Pork in the morning. Hello, Pork.
Hey, Jake. How you doing? Unfortunately, we lost yesterday. We did learn some things about the team. They weren't too good. Our defense is terrible. But we did. Our offensive line is pretty good. I'll give them that. We are controlling the line, the line of scrimmage on pretty much both sides of the ball. Those linebackers, those DBs, Stevens, Adams, I mean, I don't know what else to say. That Adams missed tackle, that was one of the worst football plays I've ever seen in my life.
There's countless examples of this, of him doing the same thing. That's why it's like people are like, oh, it's one game, don't overreact. These are things that are repeated patterns. And if Glenn's different and it's all about accountability, he's going to make changes. And I think he will.
We'll see. We'll see. Because he needs to be out of there. He needs to, he needs to be at Subway today making sandwiches. I mean, that is definitely not an NFL player right there, what I've seen in that play. It was disgusting. That's all I could say about it. But I did like what I've seen out of Justin Fields. The running game with great. Breece Hall is he looked really well. I mean, I don't like what I've seen out of Braylon Allen, but that's who he is. I mean, once he gets out into space and he starts running guys over, we'll think a lot different of him. Right now, he just looks a little slow compared to Breece, a lot slow.
Breece is really good. Like I don't think people like the way Breece was discussed by some in the fan base. It never made any sense to me. Like, we all could acknowledge he wasn't good last year, but we also need to remember that 2 years ago, coming off an ACL, he was second in the NFL in yards from scrimmage behind only Christian McCaffrey. And his rookie year, before he had the ACL, he was going to win Rookie of the Year. Like, the guy is super talented. He's an awesome football player, and he looked like that yesterday. Like, people are so quick just to be like, yeah, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, like trade Breece. And it's like, what? When do the Jets have a player who's capable of being second in the NFL at his respective position in yards from scrimmage? Like, people need to just relax. I hope Breece stays healthy, and he's going to have a lot of games like what he did yesterday, because that's the player he is.
He will, and we're going to rely a lot on him. I think I said that before. Like, this year is going to be ground and pound. It's going to be a lot of Breece Hall. It's going to be a lot of Justin Fields moving around. He made some great passes yesterday. I'll give him that. I mean, it is only one game and we lost, so I'm pissed off. But, I like what I've seen out of the offense is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the stupid plays on defense, the hits out of bounds,
And Quincy should know better, man. That's Quincy, I thought actually had a really good game yesterday, but that play was bad. It can't happen.
Yeah, because it's, we stopped them. It was clearly a momentum changing play, and it screwed us. So,
hold on, real quick, Jets Johnny, how could you say relax on Breece but are in instant panic mode for a team after one game? It's not panic mode. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I'm angry. They lost a game that was infinitely winnable, and now have to play maybe the best team in the NFL. They could be 0-2. Who knows if they're going to play that well again on offense? And that was the game that you got to win when your quarterback plays that. If Justin Fields is this every week, they're going to win 10 games at least. They're going to be fine. I don't think that's going to be the case necessarily. I have some doubts on that. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm annoyed. I'm not panicking. I'm not PBM saying the season's over because they lost week one, but they got to go out there and they got to now, at the bare minimum, win one of their next two. And both games are not easy. This game against Buffalo is tough. Tampa week 3 is not easy either in their home opener. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yes, it's one game, but if you don't win the games that are that winnable, we're going to be lamenting the fact that the season went up in flames and it didn't have to be that way. That's my point. Because that's pressure on them to win this week. That's it. If they beat Buffalo, I'll be giddy and be like, you guys were right. There were a ton of positives. They actually got better and parlayed that into a great win at home against a division opponent. They do that, I'll be giddy. I don't think they're winning this week. So I think we're 0-2 going to Tampa, and our season's on the line in the third week of the year. That's my point.
Oh, I think we're going to win this week, though, Jake. I think
I hope you're right. God bless.
I think we got a really good chance. I mean, I don't know if our offense is going to put up the same, amount of points that we did, but I'm saying if we can put up 22 points, we'll win 22-17. I'm putting my hat on that. But I was really impressed by our offense, and we're going to get better. So just clean up those penalties on the defense. Get rid of Tony Adams. You know what I mean? He should be working at Arby's, wherever he is. Him and Gorman could go out looking for jobs together. I mean, that's where he should be. But with that, guys, I'm going to bow out. Jet life to the next life. I'll talk to you guys later in the week.
Pork, your Jake Asman Show pennant has been ordered. It is on its way.
All right. Well, I'll be on the way looking for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pork of the Morning.
You get the fuck out.
One of the all-time greats. All right, more calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what we need right now. It is time to stop what you're doing and bow down to the king.
Jake, my brother, it's always good to see you on this fine Monday, my brother. Let me just say this, man. I want to start with, because yesterday I felt like a lot of you guys thought I was negative. So let me start with some positives, okay? I don't think Robby Sabo was right in his session of Justin Fields. I've seen a lot of great passes from that man in the pocket, okay? And some on the run, but in particular, this one pass to Tyler Johnson, it was like a rocket. It was right between defenders. He was really cooking. Okay, I mean, Justin Fields was really cooking. The offensive line was really getting down in the trenches. Okay, and I believe the run game is going to sustain that all year. But let me just say this: the only positive on the defensive side of the ball was the defensive line. Okay, I saw the super chat Bo C sent in earlier when he was like the first half. We had the 2 3 and outs. 3 and 10s or whatever. No, that was the first possession of the Steelers. That was the first drive. We had 2 3 and 10s. Okay, and couldn't get off the field. That is inexcusable. It's inexcusable. Okay, you can't do that. All right. So, that's just one thing. The second thing, you let up a touchdown right before half. That's inexcusable. You can't have that. Okay. So I don't want to hear nothing. Of course, Gary has bad takes all over the place. I don't want to hear nothing about no Brandon Stevens and anything positive about no damn Brandon Stevens. Get his ass off the field, okay? The man clearly has to get some coaching done because he was trash in Baltimore. We knew that, and we still put his ass on the field. I need to see Malachi Moore, A.Z. Thomas. I need to see that, okay? And AG said it himself. You're going to get your ass off the field if you can't produce. Clearly, the man can't produce. So get his ass off the field. I don't want to hear nothing positive about no damn Brandon Stevens. Now, Jake, I saw what you just pulled up when I was saying yesterday, how Pat Fryermuth and Jonnu Smith was killing Sherwood, was killing Quincy. You pulled up that stat. And the linebackers was atrocious yesterday. You're not getting sideline to sideline. Okay? You got to nip this shit in the bud. You have to. It's inevitable that, hey, some of these guys are playing undisciplined football, and we got to get that crap together, man. So, I see it. I know the positives and all that. I'm good. We got to win games, man. Buffalo is coming up. I'm on to the next game. Now we see what the Ravens did to Buffalo. That should be our same game plan, the same game plan we was running yesterday. Run the damn ball. If Derrick Henry can have 170 plus yards, so can Breece Hall, man. We've seen it. He's capable. So, hey, man, let's get this win. It's a division win. This is for first in the division. So let's get this win, man. Jesus!
Ladies and gentlemen, the king. He's right. Maybe the Bills winning last night, they overlooked the Jets a little bit. Maybe. I mean, like, the Jets should be able to run the hell on Buffalo. They should. They got to play way better defense to have any chance. You know, I don't think the Ravens defense all of a sudden sucks. They had a bad game. Hopefully the Jets defense, I don't think they suck. I think they had a terrible game. Let's hope Aaron Glenn and Wilkes make adjustments. I think there's a couple easy ones they could do right away. If Stevens is struggling, you can go to Easy Thomas or Stiggers. Try something else. They can't be worse. There's no way. If Tony Adams gets another opportunity because you want to pull the plug after a game, then Malachi Moore better be on standby. Or try Stevens at safety where he's played before in his career. There's things they could do. I'm hoping that this coaching staff doesn't just wait until a problem is too big. They finally do something and it's too late. They're proactive. Paul gifting a membership in the raffle for one. A couple other big memberships that came through. K&D and Matt Pope, each of them gifting a 5 spot. You know what we're doing. We're playing this on loop all day anytime we get memberships.
You get the fuck out.
I do not want to see Xavier Gibson out there. Sick of it. NYC Super Chat. Jets front lines, both offense and defense look good. Sauce was amazing. Can we sign Hall to an extension? Can we wait after more than one game? I love Breece. He's had injury issues. Let's calm down. K&D, Breece is a dog. I am a huge Breece fan. He is the best running back on the team by far. If he plays like that, he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. He's that special of a talent. We've seen it. Tristan says, Timu Kinglowski checking in. Tristan yesterday tried to go full Kinglowski with his call. But we saw the real Kinglowski there. Shout out to K&D. I think this is 6 rings, right? Doesn't he have his name as Tom Brady now? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
You get the fuck out.
We'll see you later, Tom Brady. How'd your team look yesterday? Oh, they lost too. Great. More calls. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from King. We've heard from Gary. We have heard. Wait, King. We've heard from Bonesy. There's one last caller that was in the initial Asmaniac Final Four that is on the line. You could tell the season's back, baby. It's time.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
What's up, fellas?
The
My
entire
boy,
Final
Kinglowski.
Four. Yes.
Kinglowski, I'm glad that he was on the ledge last night, boy. Woof. He was spewing venom. And
He's
now
like me. He's sick of losing. He can't do it anymore.
yeah,
I don't blame him.
that's it. It sucks. You know what really is going to, what I really don't want to be talking about? How we have a record-setting this and a record-setting that, but still lost it.
Right.
We record-set it. No punts in the first half. Outscored this. I swear to God, we must be on the opposite end of every major statistic that resulted in a loss in history of sports. Am I right, Jake?
Well, the one I saw this morning that the Jets haven't done that since '98. Like the only positive I could give you is '98 they won 12 games. They started 0-2 and then were 12-2 the rest of the way. It's tough, Neil. I mean, to dominate the way the Jets dominated for a lot of that game and not win, it's deflating. I understand there's a lot of positives there are, but it's one game. We don't know if the offense is capable of playing like that consistently. If you guaranteed me that's who Fields now is, I'd obviously sacrifice the L to have a franchise quarterback, but like I don't know if he's going to play that well. Buffalo's going to make a lot of adjustments to what Angstrom just showed, and let's find out if Fields is legit that they can adjust back.
Exactly. I will say, I'm much happier in the fact that the defense was the reason we lost the game, and special teams, reality-wise, why we lost. But the fact that the offense overachieved is a very, very encouraging sign moving forward. Now, whether or not they can continue that is a different story, but I like our chances. I'll be at the game Sunday with a good friend of mine who gets coaches club seats, and he invited me to the coaches club, so I can't say no to that.
Is the shirt staying on for the pregame tailgate?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna lay.
Oh, hold on, Dale.
With anticipation, and I'm excited about the game. And I watched last night in disbelief. I mean, I can't believe Buffalo came back in that game.
Oh, this is what I'm going to do to you all season, little bitches.
You're going to stop by L5 potentially.
I got a hump a Josh Allen jersey.
They won. Look, L5, I'm texting with Mr. Matt Siegel himself. They burned a Roger Steelers jersey yesterday. They're going to burn the Josh Allen jersey this week. And last time you were there humping a jersey before a Jet home game, they won. So I'm not able to make the game, but I need you to go to L5 and do what you did last year.
Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans.
I will definitely run over to do a hump before the fire starts. Maybe I will light the only way you tell your friend, the only way I come hump that jersey is if my cigar gets to light it. You know what I mean? We're going to put all the stuff on it, and then I'm going to go.
That could be arranged. Once I tell the L5 people that the last time
that'll be great.
Jets destroyed a division opponent at home, I think they're going to be all over it. So we'll make that happen.
That'll be interesting. That'll be great. But look, I'm excited. The game sucked. Losing sucks. We're used to it. But if we make those changes we mentioned earlier, we just cannot have Gibson on the field again. If Aaron Glenn is preaching the accountability and then we hear him giving second chances, I'm not going to be very happy about that, Jake. I don't know about you.
I agree.
I want him. You know what I mean? You're going to say, hey, you're accountable. Hey, guess what? Step aside, Mr. Gibson. Here come. Bring up the kid. Let's get him out there. We gave up on Codrington last year, and Codrington's returning kicks for Buffalo, doing a great job. Sometimes the guy that steps in is the guy that really could turn things around and make a difference. Same thing with giving Malachi Moore. I mean, Malachi Moore is even a bigger layup than moving out Gibson, because we saw him with our own eyes in preseason. The kid made play after play after play. He was in the backfield tackling. He was making interceptions. He was flying around the field, and he's an Alabama product that's proven, okay? Not a UDFA that happened to make the team because Robert Salo liked the way he ran the steps with him in pregame. Come on, enough. Out. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
All fair.
Next.
Now, a couple things. I will make sure we arrange the L5 Josh Allen jersey humped for good vibes, but also make sure you don't take the shirt off in the pregame because that led to the Denver debacle.
Take it off! Take it off! Let's go!
And by the way, the best part of that video is the fact that you somehow were able to successfully take the shirt off while the cigar never left your mouth.
I will tell you this. The cigar never comes out of my mouth. I had a guy, I got a road rage incident with a guy. I'll tell it real quick. He cuts me off, and the guy, I'm yelling at him. He's yelling at me. The guy spits at me from his car door, from his seat onto my thing. said, this son of a bitch spit at me. My son was in the back seat. I get out of the car, and there's like this much room between the two cars. Him and I start wrestling, this guy, and he swings at me and knocks my cigar out of my mouth. I went back, and I went to go get my cigar while we were in the middle of a fight. All of a sudden, out of the passenger seat, my wife, I see a fist come out of the window and crack him right in the face. I swear to God, it was hysterical. Boom! She hits the guy right here. He went like this while I was picking up my cigar. And he, what the hell is this? My wife starts screaming at him, you get back in your goddamn car. How dare you spit? This guy ran. And I'm picking up my cigar, looking for my glasses, got a little bent out of shape. And their cigar was still there lit. Guy took a swipe at me. He didn't hit me. I dodged it, but he did knock my cigar. And that is bad news. If he would have stopped, you want to see a man go wild? Stop, break one of my cigars. Then you want to see, I'll be like Mark Gastineau on you.
Story time with Neil is one of my favorites. We might need to do a special, members only video where we take Neil's stories he's shared over the years and put it all together like this one.
I went to the Jet Golf Classic Monday. We all go to the locker room and everybody's showering. There's a line of guys. And who gets behind me on the line but Vinny Testaverde?
Oh, God.
And I said, boy, Vinny, we could have used you last year. You know, Vinny, winning it in New York, is there anything like it? He goes, absolutely not. I go, are you looking for big things this year? He goes, yes. I go, how do you think Aaron's going to react coming off the Achilles? He did say that he's going to have some rust. He goes, look, it's going to be a little difficult in the beginning. They should rely heavily on the run the first couple of games.
And then he just smoothly goes from that into a Jets take on. Neil's 101, folks. I love it. All right, home stretch here. Then we're going to do a raffle for a Fields jersey. So if you want in on that, you got to gift the membership, and you can pick the color you want, black, white, or green. Should the Jets wear green on white again this week because they scored that many points, but the defense stunk? Or do they go with the white jerseys at home this week? What do we think? Do they go all green? I don't know. What jersey should the Jets wear this week? Let Woody Johnson know. Ladies and gentlemen, right now it's time for you to let Boomtown know in the chat where you believe this man is calling from.
Wear the white next week. Make them wear the darker color mid-September.
Ooh, good thought. How's the weather next Sunday? Has anyone checked yet?
It was kind of cool yesterday, so both teams kind of skated on it. So cool and wet. But I think that Lowski had a lot of good points. It's the little things that is not enabling this team to get to the next level. I don't mind going for two when it's from short yardage at the 1 yard line. The play call has to be commensurate whenever you're going for two with the undertaking, right? I expect we're going to see a lot more of that with this offense, right? And we should be the kings of it. We should be racking up 2-point conversions here left and right. There's no reason that Pritchard shouldn't be in, Gibson should be out. There's no reason that the Alabama safety shouldn't be in for Adams at this point. I think you have to give Stevens another shot. It's based on what you saw in camp. He's got to get his head around. He's got to catch the ball. You're paying him a lot of money, so you have to give him more than one game. And, if finding another role for him at safety is a way into the problem, then maybe you do that. It's frustrating that stuff like these 15-yarders, whether we're on offense or defense, is inhibiting our ability to either get off the field or stay on the field. When you're running an offense like this is ball control. We need to be able to do that. We need to be able to get off the field on defense and maintain the ball control on offense. So I'm a little frustrated with the results. I was heartened by the improved run game. I was heartened by Fields. I was encouraged by JJ playing the whole game. I was really encouraged to see that Sauce played very well. But there's things that we can improve. This is a young team. It's one game. I didn't see that Buffalo had any interest in tackling anybody for 2.5 quarters last night. So that might be a good sign for us. Let's put our best foot forward and on to Buffalo.
I like it, Kyle. All fair. It's just all the good you bring up and then them still losing. It's just like, that's what makes it so tough. I mentioned Jermaine's snap counts before. He was so much better than anyone could have imagined Jermaine Johnson would be in his first game back. Him and Will McDonald, that is a game changer with Quinnen. And awesome to see Quinnen have a big game too, right? Right out the middle, get that first sack on Rodgers. They should have won yesterday, man. It's such a bummer. Michael gifting 5 memberships. He is in the raffle now for 5.
You get the fuck out.
All right, home stretch here. Then we're spinning the Wheel of Champions. Devin is next. What's up, Devin?
Hey, Jake. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Were you at the game yesterday?
I was at the game yesterday, bro. I was at the game yesterday, man. Say this. It was pretty interesting. It was, man, it's fucking sucked because we were winning that game the entire time except for fucking last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That was really frustrating, I will say though, I feel really good about. I had no voice. That's what that was. But I feel really good about the fact that like I saw Justin make some throws yesterday, bro. Like they were seeds on a rope. That one pass he had to Rucker was like on a dig, and he hit him for like a 10-yard pass. And I was like, I was first thinking to myself, I'm watching it. I'm like, man, the defender's too close. I was like, oh crap, he caught that. So from where I was sitting, so that was really interesting. But I think a lot of the points everybody made was really well stated. I'm not going to reiterate it too much except to say that I do think it is a waste of space to have Gibson on this team. Like there's no contribution that he really makes. He's not even a Michael Clemens. Like I was watching Clemens yesterday. The only thing I kept saying was, thank goodness he didn't. There was nothing that he did that was overly alarming to where it cost us. But he's a waste of space yesterday as well. It was really alarming. JJ was amazing. I was like, that dude. He's special. He's special, and it's the back end of the defense that was the most horrific. I kept we kept saying, I said, the folks I was sitting with, we kept saying like every time DK caught the ball, it was when Sauce wasn't on him, and there was one particular play. It was like 3rd and 14, and I'm like, why the hell was Sauce not on him? I think it was I think they had did like a switch off to where when DK, because Sauce started on him and then he passed him off, and I don't think that should never be 3rd and 14. I want you to know. I want fucking you to know how Sauce breath smell. That's how close I want Sauce to be on that player. Like there's no reason to have him ever come off the number 1 receiver, especially when it's 3rd and long like that. And that was a couple of times that happened where it was 3rd and long and we gave it up. So that was really disappointing. As far as Malachi Moore,
he shut down Metcalf when he went.
He did, bro.
I mean, and we're gonna see more of that. Like they're gonna face Mike Evans in week 3. I'm having Sauce travel him then. When they face Jamar Chase, I'm having Sauce travel then too. Like Sauce should be on CeeDee Lamb when they play the Cowboys in week 5. Like that's how this should be. You pay a corner that kind of money, you're a man scheme defense now. Sauce needs to be used how Rex would use Revis, period.
I really want to see Pritchard up though, bro. I really want. It would have been, and the other thing that you don't get to see from watching it on television, but you can for a little bit. But like another thing that no one's really talked about is like all these fucking fair catch that Xavier Gibson does. Like he fair caught the ball at least twice yesterday, where the closest defender to him was about 5-10 yards away, and I'm like, that's more than enough room for you to go and make a move. That's the point. You make a move, you make the first guy miss, and then you get another 15-20 yards to have the team have a better field position. And he just doesn't even do that. So it's like, why is he here, man? Like, come on. I'm not gonna get mad. I promised myself I was gonna get mad. It's funny, real quick story. I told my daughter I wasn't gonna yell yesterday. I said, I'm not gonna yell, baby. I'm just gonna stay calm. She said, Daddy, that's not true. You're gonna lose your voice. I said, I'm not, but I did. Apparently, But Jake, man, I appreciate you letting me check in, man. One last thing. I just want to say, I don't know if Chef Kev is listening. I went to the Cloverleaf Tavern. That was pretty dope. Food there was excellent. So if you go to a Jets game, man, if you're at the area or you in the area, go support the Cloverleaf, man. The
Love
food
that.
was good.
Love that you
Yeah.
went, Devin. That's awesome. I'm glad,
Yeah.
despite the loss, you got to go with your fam and enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, bro.
Devin, checking in. Good stuff. Guys, I know what we all need right now. We're all kind of down in the dumps. I get it. How about a Gary call to lift your spirits? But Gary's not there. See what I did? See what I did? Where are my ladies at?
You can kiss my big ass. Woo!
Yeah, Gary. Hey, guess what? I believe women should vote. Huh? Any response? If you don't say anything, you're agreeing with me. Gary, if you say nothing right now, if you're just dead silence, you agree with me that women have a right to vote. Wow. Folks, the best Gary call he's ever had. You won't find a better Gary call. It's impossible.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple calls left. Coach Oglick, he was also in the building yesterday. What's up, Coach?
What's up, Jake? Congratulations on ESPN work.
Thank you, Coach.
We have some great fans as Maniacs. The parking lot was amazing. It was really cool to fly across the country and meet a lot of you.
Do people know you as Coach Oglick?
Devin, I saw somebody was like, how do I know you? I'm like, I'm not sure. But either way, it was good to see people. My voice is gone. I'm not going to go into the Jet stuff. I am happy to see the product on the field. I know that result wasn't the outcome we all wanted, and we're passionate as hell. I screamed my lungs out. But I want to say some amazing fans. What a cool fan base. What a cool community. I feel right at home on this side of the country with you all. I appreciate you, Jake, for bringing us together. This is really cool. I'm looking forward to getting back here. I fly out in a few hours, and on the plane, I will watch the tape because in person, you just don't see it the same way as you do on TV. Like I saw some highlights, and I was like, that's what that looked like? Because you get it from one perspective. And the vibe of the stadium and the energy of being there is just different.
You don't get replay either when you're at the stadium. They show very little stuff, especially if it's like a negative play against the Jets, then you never see it. They don't show it.
I will say that, and yes, the Steeler fans travel, but if that last fourth down play was an indication of where we were at, is holy cow, they got loud. It kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but I understand. Like, kudos to them for coming out. I get out to a lot of away Jets games and scream in the minority, so I'm proud to do that. I look forward to getting back and seeing the Jets play live. And Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Coach, safe flight, my friend. I'm sorry that you traveled all that way to not see a win, but at least you got to hang with some Asmaniacs. And I mean, look, it was a highly entertaining game. Like it really was. It's just I don't know. I can't allow myself. I just don't enjoy watching the Jets play. I don't I only enjoy when they win and like the moments of success. I'm a nightmare when the Jets are on. I hate myself when I have to watch the Jets. I like watching football, other teams. I'm excited to watch the Monday night game tonight. Yankees are off too, so I'll be locked in on that. But it's like it is so stressful. It's horrible. My Apple Watch goes off like before the game even starts. It's like, oh, you have an irregular heart rate. It doesn't appear like you're moving. Seek medical. My Apple Watch went off an hour before Rodgers' first game 2 years ago. Crazy. Let's check back in with everyone's favorite. Gary, how you doing, Gary? You don't say. Speak of the devil. Amanda says best version of Gary. The not present one. In the meantime, we'll check in with Gary's arch nemesis. Hello, Nate.
AKA White Gypsy, baby.
White Gypsy, hello.
So, Jake, are you gathering raffle entries? Is this my duty again?
I haven't actually started with that process, but if you would like to assist with giving me some time to do exactly that, that works.
Get your last raffle entry in post. I'm not riding on the sidewalk. I'm not seeing this. I can't deal with the cobblestones where I gotta go.
How's the weather today, Nate? It was a little chilly this morning.
It was a bit nippy this morning. I left at like 5 or 6 a.m. and I am wearing a long sleeve, but now I'm a little hot and I just see everyone else is in t-shirts.
I see.
But no, it's a pleasant day.
Any other thoughts? What do you think of this Gary call, by the way? You enjoying it?
I mean, it's kind of like the Jets being undefeated yesterday. You know, he's not wrong when he's not saying anything. You know, you haven't played a game, you can't lose. It's a similar concept.
It's a good point. I see what you did there.
All right, I got to stop at the Whitney Museum, Jake.
Enjoy, Nate. Thank you for your
You're gonna
time.
have to do this on your own.
All right. Nate, parentheses Nate. Now we go back to Gary, giving us the call of a lifetime. That's what they're calling it. Seriously. This call right here is Gary's best ever call. Now, many people, though, they're talking about Gary's takes on things and all that, and I get it. You know, he's got opinions. But right now, he's giving you a call you'll never forget. So keep that in mind. All right. Where else are you going to find this? All right. I have the raffle names here. Let me copy and paste it in the Wheel of Champions, and we will then be ready to roll. Again, weekly raffles tomorrow. So we'll have one more show this afternoon with Will Parkinson, and then after that, we'll spin the wheel tomorrow when Joe Beningo comes on with us tomorrow at 10 a.m. for his first weekly appearance of the season. On that note, it is time to spin the Wheel of Champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, baby, here we go. Hit the music. We're giving away a Justin Fields jersey. You got to pick the color if you win. You got to email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, and we send you either a Fields jersey in green, Fields jersey in white, or a Fields jersey in black. On that note, the wheel is on the screen. Good luck to everybody. Thanks to everyone who supports these raffles. The winner is, we find out right now. Zach Rosenberg. Now, for those who don't know Zach Rosenberg has been a longtime supporter of the show, and he's a lacrosse goalie, class of 2025. So, Zach, when you email me, you got to let me know, where are you playing lacrosse? Now that it is 2025, where did you commit to play lacrosse? So we can update your name officially. But congratulations to Zach. He is the winner, and I just remembered as I was going through the Super Chats, I missed one earlier from a listener, so I want to get to that. But, Zach, please email me the size you want the Fields jersey and the color and your address, and I'll get it ordered for you later today. There was a Super Chat from Willie Nielsen that I missed. Here it is. Thank you, Willie. At 30+, Bradbury, Gilmore, Fuller will be better than number 21 if the Rook's not ready. O and D lines can be top 10. Allen, Rob begging to be signed. Oh, Allen Robinson might be washed. I don't think wide receiver was the issue yesterday, to be fair. It could be, but they haven't added a receiver yet. I don't see it happening. Your point on the corners, look, I'd rather just give A.Z. Thomas an opportunity. You use the third-round pick on him before I'd sign another veteran. That's kind of my take on that. I'd rather see A.Z. Thomas go out there. On that note, again, thank you to everyone. Long show. They typically are on Mondays. We'll be back in the 4 o'clock hour a couple hours from now to get Will Parkinson's thoughts on everything. Hang in there, Jet fans. We've been down this road far too many times, unfortunately. Hopefully, better days are ahead.
You could kiss my big, big ass. Woo!
You guys Here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.